Cappy. Oh God, guys, I am in such a great mood. So like the stars align. Like let me tell you. I'll explain some things to you. Thank God you guys have me. So when you get older, and I wish I knew at the age of 12 to tell my parents, no, I'm just not going to school. Homeschool or whatever. I didn't know it was an option. If we need children's advocates, that's what we really needed. So kids not like, I'm not going to this nightmarish psychological hellhole, this insane asylum you call the public schools. But the problem with going to school and going where the lemmings go is you develop kind of like value systems that they do. Whenever you get smart enough, if you're smart enough, you abandon the value structure. I don't mean principles or ethics, but what's important in life. Like you abandon that if you're smart pretty much in college, certainly when you enter the real world. But, this is something the younger generations don't know because you never abandon mommy and daddy, suck off daddy's titty. I need bailout. So you still generally the older generation, you still subscribe to consumer. Oh, I need to be all it is my generation, still the majority. I'd say like 75% of them, 75% of them still think what's really important is to have fancy clothes. It's the same stuff we had back in middle school and high school, except now you added 2 zeros to the price tag. So it was $100 pair of jeans. If you can imagine that in the 80s. Now that's more than 2 zeros. That you had 3 zeros, $1 million house and a $100,000 vehicle. And, precious little chillwins. You dress up and you treat them like that's what kids are nowadays. It's just dolls. You dress them up. You don't really care. You outside. Ship them off the daycare as you always do. And he like, my son goes and plays hockey. Well, good for your freaking son. Never under this sport. All the extracurricular activities. Does he know how to I don't know. Can he wire a house? Can he swap out a transmission? Even I can't do that. I'd be impressed if you could. Anyway, so all that happens is just a continuation of, I don't even call it high school. It's middle school. It's just a continuation of middle school, but it's more expensive. But if you're smart, if you're wise, you get middle-aged old man wisdom. And I'm honorarily inducted into this prestigious organization because I got here before anyone else, my generation. Largely because I didn't have kids, I did spend more than I could afford. And so even though my neighbors are literally miles away, there's still somewhat of a community and you have some people over. And most I'm effectively retired, right? Most of the people my age who are foolish enough to have children. And not Ray. I'm not talking like Juan or Alex, where you guys actually invested your children and you raise your children and you love your children and taking them on vacations and adventures and trips. I'm not talking you guys. I'm talking the ones that mass produce. My son plays hockey. Good. Hope he gets hit in the face with a puck. Ooh, such violence. I thought a dark thought. I won't say it. Oh shoot, where was I going with the thing? Anyway, so So I don't got no kids, right? So you're kind of on the fast track to old manhood. You're on the old fast track to old mandom. And then you arrive and there's all the old time like, hey, what's up, kid? Like, hey, what's going on? What do we do, guys? And the old man says, this is it. This is all we do. He wears his Vietnam veteran hat. We have our coffee and we pick on each other's penis sizes. And then we go golf. That'd be the Vegas variety of old manhood. You go, you have a good time, smoke cigars, play golf. Vegas, it's poker, and the old men come over. And as many of you tuned in here before, you probably already know, the goal in life is not materialism. It's not wealth. These guys have it, not maybe in spades, but they're financially stable. But it's stability, peace, contentment, and maybe something to do if you're lucky. And so in terms of what you derive value out of life, imagine that, like, you're effectively retired, so your finances are all taken care of. So now that frees up 40 hours a week, 50 with commute. You probably got grandkids or, your kids are out of the house. So you got a lot of time left over. And when you start turning and focusing your attention on, if you're smart, it's not, oh, I get a Range Rover. Oh, what, like, it's not a continuation of high school. It's not still participating in middle school BS that for these guys ended decades ago, for me decades ago, but they're not abandoned. What you do is you start to look for, like, I want to optimize, if not outright perfect, your living situation, your abode, your life in general. Like, are the vehicles, they're due for oil changes? Did we change the oil? Is it starting to sound like old man stuff? This is the old man Olympics. I'm in. I'm one of the youngest inductees in the old man Olympics right now. Those floorboards on the patio, they're kind of not. A couple of them need tapping down. I really ought to armor all the the vinyl in the cars. And the reason why is you've grown up, you had cars that, oh yeah, it cracked and all that. So you kind of, it's maintenance, but you want the smoothest and most efficient running ship possible. Not a big ship. You don't want a big house. You don't want a lot of vehicles. You're still a minimalist, but the stuff you do have, you want it. You want it ship shape. I'm sure captains of actual ships in the Navy would know, right? Because you know that if everything runs smoothly, your operating cost of the time you have to spend on it is less. So here I am, building not big house, building a new house. That's a huge project because there's all this stuff that has to go into it, caulking where they didn't caulk, doing all the work of the guys, but landscaping, as you guys know, putting a lot of retaining walls. Why? So that in the future, I'm not hauling in dirt. I don't have foundation issues, draining, French drains and all that. And so, what's Jack? Go to bed. Go to bed. It's in the morning here. So they said unto me, these are the old timers, because they thought they knew more than the rookie coming into the old man leagues. They said, "Oh, new house, huh? Yeah. Oh, man, you're gonna be working on that for years." And I already knew, like, I'm not working on this for years. This is not going to be a list, a litany of things that keep me awake at night like a mosquito in my bedroom as I try to go to sleep. Because that would not be contentment, that would not be peace. And I had kind of a very already, maybe I didn't have it written down, but I had goals. I had objective, pretty clear and identified objective. And I'm like, this house is getting done. There's no liabilities. There's no mental liabilities or chores that are going to be floating out there like the normie conformies inferior who have boxes upon boxes of stuff, both them and their spouse, from college they've never opened, that have clutter and crap in their real lives and thus their minds. I'm like, nope. This is the USS Cappy. This house is going to be in ship shape. And it's going to be done within a year. Now that didn't I didn't make that time quota. It was about a year and 3 months. And I've talked about it before. I don't talk about it because I'm bragging. I talk about it because I'm bragging, but this is very important because when you get to the old man leagues, which you will, you're my listeners, you're my followers, we're generally subscribed to the thing. We're not, there ain't a lot of materialists here. I think most of you know not to start dating Tiffany from Edina with her degree and master's in journalism to bail her out and then play that stupid game at prestigious Pines Way in the suburbanite development and play the keep up with the Joneses. We're all on the same page here, right? So this is coming. But I wanted it. I wanted this, like, nope, I'm going to get this done. And I'm not kidding, guys. I discovered like a whole new level of standard of living. Like I claim that Vice comes after. It's a joke, a tongue-in-cheek joke a little bit. I'm not claiming to be some, but there's some element to truth that I say Vice comes after self-actualization on Maslow's hierarchy of needs because society does want to participate with itself. Everyone kind of hates, certainly in Western civilization. And I'm saying this, I hate to quote the phrase, but cleanliness is next to godliness. Because like when we're little kids, your parents force you to clean up when you really didn't have to. But it's not so much the cleanliness. I think it's having every possible thing done, everything off that plate. And these old timers, like, oh yeah, got work cut out for you. Yep. Like, we've been here for 7 years, still working on. I'm like, that's not me. I'm not going to be here 7 years, putting gravel on the driveway. All of it gets done. All of it gets done in a year. And then, then with no liabilities, as if you did your homework on the bus ride home Friday night afternoon, you can enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I am at the place where I can enjoy the rest of my weekend, except the rest of the weekend is the rest of my life. Because I got the solar panels installed. There had to be some drainage. Make sure the dirt that the solar panels were on didn't erode away. All right. And so I had to dig a trench, had to put up another retaining wall. And I put the last brick on that last retaining wall. It's done. Now I know there was other stuff done with the art and all this, but the solar panels came in later. So it restarted it up. But it's done, man. It's done. Oh, there's always minor things. Like, yeah, I guess we could throw up a couple more pieces of art. We got some extra space on the walls. Because again, going from a 1-bedroom your entire life to a full house. Gee, Brain, what do we do today? I have no idea, Pinky. I've never. This is a big mouse cage. Holy cow. What? And now, and see, I want to get the old timers over, like, and I don't show them, I don't show them the swamp that I turned into a pond that we could almost go swimming in. I don't show them that. I don't show them my nice deck and patio. That's all there. I'm like, look at that retaining wall. You see that dirt? That dirt is retained. It ain't going anywhere until I'm dead. See those solar panels? Those solar panels, I'm dead by the time they got to be replaced. I basically want to show them like, hey, all those things you got to do? This is where the real competition comes in. Here's where Keep It Up with the Jones of the bragging rights is. Oh, you see my perfectly clean and kept garage that doesn't have one thing of clutter on the ground. Everything is hung up. The storage from the proudest thing of my house. And you talk to Donovan Sharp or Roll Tomasi about this. He's old man wisdom. It's the storage that I got that hangs above the garage because garage doors go up and then they curve, So they and most people put their garages a couple feet above that. I don't know, like 8-9 foot garage. I have a 13-foot ceilings, tall garage. Put a ton of storage. Ton of storage right up there. And so when the garage opens, it's there. You're not using that space. All my stuff is off the ground. Everything is organized. And as I've said, but you wanna get an erection over something. Let me give you some genuine middle-aged old man porn here. Let me give you some genuine porn. I don't have one box of clutter. I have a box of mementos that I will look through in the nursing home upon my death. Say, who the hell was this? But everything has been put away. I have a scrapbook. I put all the important stuff in. Anytime I get a picture from my nieces or nephews, I put that in there. My fossil collection is all organized on a credenza with the right lighting. I'm trying to think of other and time with the last brick that goes into the last retaining wall. I finally got patio furniture. And the patio furniture is it's kind of a tragic thing because it indicates you're going to have that many people come visit you someday. It's like, yeah, we're never going to have that filled. I might with some of the local people I ran into. Maybe I'll get enough people to use it and actually have a legit party. But I was like looking at the amount of seating I have. Essentially, I'm like, I don't think that many people are ever coming to this house at the same time. But for Atham and chat, we're gonna have lots of patio seating outside, where we won't have to even be sitting close to each other. You stretch out with your arms like this, have your cocktails and your beers and your cigars, or in Athem's case, a pipe. And but the patio furniture is even there. And okay, maybe maybe it's not officially done. Maybe it's not the last screw on the maybe it's not the final stroke of a paintbrush painting the ship that, '01 they put on the big 01s on the US Navy ships. I do have to get a cover for the patio furniture so like the sun doesn't bleach out the cushions and they don't blow away in case we get a lot of wind. Well, the tree should stop that. So okay, I got to order a cover. I might tack underneath the patio, we do get wind, but it's not that bad. It ain't that bad because of the berm and the trees. But there have been some gusts that have made it through. Tack down the seats, the patio furniture with a wide washer on the back and a screw that goes into the feet so it holds down the patio furniture so it doesn't blow away. Maybe that's overkill. That's it. And so it's like now you could sit. Not Atham. Chad was here. Chad was here when there was like a chair. There was a chair in the house. That's it. I got a picture of it. I think I should frame it, actually. It's just a folding chair in the living room. There's no blinds. That's it. You start to like, wow, I really was a minimalist. Holy cow. We got to figure out something to sit. And now I get to sit over my domain. And that's it. There's nothing left to do. Nothing but maintenance now, guys. This ship is ready to get out of port. We're drop it into the water. It's done in the building dock. It's the last brush of paint, the last stroke of paint. Send her out in that ocean. Now, I'm going to take this ship. I'm going to sail out in that ocean. I'm going to die out there. And the ship is going to keep on going. And so now it's just mowing, watering. Maybe not even watering. Maybe next year we'll get some rain. Who knows? Love to haul in all the hoses. Oil changes, brake pads. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah. Did the homework, guys. I did my homework on the bus ride home. Now there ain't no homework to do. Oh, did you save your homework until Sunday afternoon? It's time to get serious about retirement. What do you mean I gotta have on a fixed income? And man, it's a whole, like I said, vice comes is on top of self-actualization. And whatever we call this, maintenance-free life or maintenance, there's always maintenance, but maintenance minimum life, like no more chore life. That dude, I'm richer than Bill Free. I'm not joking. What is Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk? Okay, yeah, I admit there's still CEO or, what's his name? Bill Gates has got to run around with his nonprofits. Dude, all that work. By that time, you're not going for your money. You're going for your legacy, but they have different goals. Have fun with that. Bye. Bye. Have fun working, Jeff. Thanks for conveniently setting it up where all the stuff is delivered to me on your internet site. That's wonderful. I'm eternally grateful for that. But I ain't going to do this 80-hour work week, whether it's working on my house or working on the thing or the stuff. I'm like, nope. And now Cappy gets to get back to like, we're going to do podcasts, going to do asshole consulting. I'm going to like mow the yard a little bit. Oh, and then the bragging rights to the guys. Oh, I showed a picture of mine clean. I know this guy, Frank, obviously older than me with a name like that. So I took a picture of my garage because I'm like, yeah, look at this. This is the coolest thing I'm proud of, is the storage. I'm also pretty proud of the retaining walls. I did a good job on that. And so I showed Frank. I say, look at that, Frank. It's like, what is that? I'm like, that's my garage. It says it looks so clean. I said, there's not one thing on the floor that doesn't have wheels. That's my rule. There has to have an engine to be on the ground. Everything is put away otherwise. Well, there's a recycling bin. And I do have 2 folding chairs, but I use that to break out and lift the garage when it's raining to have a cigar while it rains in my clean garage. And he was happily pissed. He's like, "Oh, that's horrible. Oh, you're a disgusting person." He's got his garage all filled with crap. I say, he says, "You even got your cars in your garage." I'm like, "Yep. Yes, I do." And that's a goal, guys. Let me tell you, coming from this new high-level standard of living that makes you richer than Bill Gates and the bald guy, both of which the divorce guys. Oh, wait, that's all of them. How do you be richer than Jeff Bezos? Don't get divorced. Hey, good night, everybody. And oh yeah, just it's a good aim for it, guys. Aim for that. Small house. Okay. Don't worry, you got plenty to work on. You have plenty, especially if there's grounds that need to be kept. You get a small house, small grounds. Get on it. The very first year you buy your house, you're on it, fixing up stuff and putting it on autopilot. And then you get to walk into the league of old men. And they say, "Oh, nice house." They visit. "Oh, I like what you did here." "Yeah, I've been meaning to do that for years." "Yeah, I meant to do that for a week and it got done." "Oh, yeah, you got this organized." "Yes, I do." "Yes." You're not even bragging about the stuff. You're just bragging about the cleanliness and the orderliness. Did you put in that retaining wall? "Yeah." "What about the boulder wall?" "Yeah." And then they'll slowly start to dawn like, wait, this guy doesn't have any projects. He gets to go and have fun now. You're darn right. And it's timed. And it's timed with that bleeping effing sun. Finally went away. The heat finally went away. And now it's hiking time. And so now Cappy gets to do his podcast. I get to tell you about the 2 dumbest groups of people in America. Like dude bro finance guys and female athletes. And there's nothing wrong. I should qualify the statement of female. I'm not female athlete. That's good. Go make your money. Let's say delusional female athletes who don't know how menopause works. We'll get to that later. Then we get to slam on them. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I want. I don't know. What am I going to do? Get to do whatever we want. It's like the end of a movie. You know, sun setting down. Buffalo Bob shot Bad Bart. And then the townsfolk and the nice little school marm lady who for whatever reason isn't married. Where you going, Buffalo Bob? I don't know, wherever I want. Someday. Was it somewhere? Wasn't that the end of Lazy Sal's? Where you going? Somewhere. Always wanted to go somewhere. Even though it was a goofy, stupid movie. Not that funny. Oh, I know. I just committed blasphemy. Not that funny of a movie. It was good. Somewhere. I always want to go somewhere. That's where I'm going to go. Where are we going, Captain Cappy? Well, I don't know. Just go forward, man. And now options are on the table to start doing the things I always wanted to do again. Now this house is squared away. I really do want to do that motorcycle ride. I don't know. I'm going to go somewhere. I got to wait for a recession to hit because hotel prices are insane. Remember doing that in Canada. I just had the GF go and book me a hotel. I'm like, yeah, I do the range, look at the weather. I want to be in this town. Can you find me a hotel? Yeah. And then she'd say, okay, here's your hotel and here's where you stay. $40 Canadian. Like, here's your US quarter. Thank you. Just go somewhere. Where you going? Don't know. I'm going west. And then it's always what I wanted to do. Just like not even know. If you do that, you got to get some jerry cans of gas on your motorcycle and just go, man. Just like put the phone away. Pull into a town. Hey, is there a hotel? Oh, yeah, let me crash here. Where you go? I don't know. I not even know where I am. Like to truly like get lost Although the sun would probably tell me where I am, and I've hit enough roads, I probably know exactly where I am at all times. Just trying to get lost somewhere in Montana, Idaho would be nice. Let's go to super chats. Oh, today. Oh, I gotta hang on. It's gonna be hang on. It's gonna be a very unprofessional um one because I didn't look up my stuff before. Mural buildings, poor people. All right. Let me log in here because we gotta do fan mail. And then we got this isn't it. Come on, man. Just all right. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that. 350. Okay. They've changed things. No. Is this it? Is this where I log in? Did you change it on me, Microsoft? Thanks, Microsoft. Thanks. Because Windows 7, we couldn't just keep updating that perpetually, right? We had to change things, right? Just bear with me. You know what? Go get yourself a soda real quick if you want or something like that. No. Should we remember your choices? Yeah, please do, but you never do when I say to do it, Microsoft. It's always different. I'm okay. Hey, log in. Hey, here's an unnecessary click for you to see your email. Where'd it go? We got a new sponsor. I want to lead with the new sponsor. Here we go. And this is all new. This is all. Let me go here. Okay, so the website is Bow Tied Raptor. Bow tied like the bow tie, but it's tied, past tense, raptor .substack.com. And it says Data Science and Machine Learning 101. And I apologize. I'll put that in the chat. Are they going to make it that I can't put something in the chat? YouTube, right? Because we can't put links in the chat. Heaven help us. All right. So I asked him, and just reading his email here. So the site, bowtiedraptor.substack.com, is a simple newsletter for those that are interested in becoming a data scientist or for those that are already in the profession. The newsletter is split up into two types of readers, free subscribers and paid subscribers. Here's a quick bullet point for them. So I asked him for bullet points. This isn't him, like, this isn't script from him. I just said, let me know what I'm doing. So the free subscribers, you could read all the free posts. Topics include how to fix a resume, acing the interview, learning how to program in R and Python, learning how to make machine learning models, some commentary on the current state of the data science industry. And then paid subscribers, you get a one-on-one resume review, mock interviews. I think you spelled mock wrong. Q&A monthly, insight on successful data science projects you can implement in your industry, how to find data science careers instead of jobs, revenue generating roles, access to the content for the BT. What's BT? BT Data Science Network, deep learning practitioners, machine learning engineers, neural network researchers, etc. Let me know if there's anything else in here. No, actually, that man, the way you presented that's very clear. That's very nice, very, very helpful. So there you guys go. I will, you know what? Let me put this in the, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here it is. Paste. Boom. Because I do have a lot of young men. Because let's just admit, math is hard, right, girls? Why are we not making as much as men? Patriarchy. Yeah, we got a lot of young men in stats, actuarial science, data science, computer science. So that helps because I don't know anything about the field except for general, very basic stuff. But since you are in the field, you can help them navigate getting a career in that. Kind of like how Chad helps out the kids get a career in accounting. And then also, if you kindly would, while we're on the sponsors, I have 2 more main ones that gotta do it. There's The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey. You're all coming to this old man wisdom, whether you ladies too, you're tuning in. If you're listening in, you're not one of the normal girls, you're a superior woman. You are! Honest to God, you are. Because you're empirical and you pay the F attention. So you're gonna get Curse of the High IQ, listen to empiricism, major in STEM, all that other stuff. But you girls are gonna face this thing too. And whether you girls like it or not, you're gonna be joining the men's club. You're gonna be hanging out with the old timer with his Vietnam veteran hat. There's this stereotype. You guys have all seen it. Some of you are starting to get into that range. You're all in your 30s and 40s. You're starting to see it. If you get coffee anytime before 7 a.m., you've seen this guy. He's all over the place. It's the thin. He's not fat. It's the thin black man with the gray hair, peppered gray hair. Not fully. He's not Morgan Freeman gray hair, but peppered. He's got maybe a little bit on it. And a very clean Vietnam veteran hat. You know the guy. He's there. You know the guy ran around with a purple shirt and picked his navel. You know him, don't you? No one's going to get that one. Every neighborhood cat had a kid wore a purple shirt around, picked his navel. You know him, don't you? But that guy, y'all ran in. You girls are going to join that prestigious group. You're going to be one of us. I'm going to be like, oh my God, what do I do? Have some coffee, talk about your penis size, even though you don't have one, make fun of their penis sizes, and then get into golf and solve the world's problems at 6 a.m. coffee. That's the League of Extraordinary Old Gentlemen you get to join. So I'm going to link, what was I pasting? Oh, there, no, that's not it. Oh, that's what I was talking about. So The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey. Because we are in new times, a post-marriage society. It means we're in a post-family society, which means most of you are not going to have kids. If you do, you have purpose and reason. But even then, your kids will leave. They're going to have grandkids, or in theory. They'll give you purpose and reason in life, but you're not going to spend all the time with those grandkids. So you got to figure out something else. And The Way of Monkey book is probably, I've said it's the modern day Marcus Aurelius. I should probably promote TFM and put it that way, because it really is modern day. You ever off by one key and you're typing some foreign language? Marcus Aurelius. So, as you guys know, Turd Flinging Monkey's got a podcast on alternative platforms because he keeps advocating. I disagree with it, taking women's rights away. It's like, no, we should have a topic account. We should discuss about that. A true debate, not yelling and slamming, but a discussion maybe. So just so you know, you're kind of getting into that if you go tune into the show. But he did write a book that is quite apolitical. And it's really good. The Way of Monkey book. And if you are stressed, I had a guy who was suicidal, which, by the way, I can't help you if you're suicidal. I can only reference you to the professionals. And because we have society's decided we're going a completely different route now. That is not congruent with your genetics, your programming, or what you want. Everyone has to wrestle with that fact. And now it's just, essentially we're abandoning society. We're abandoning each other. The individuals so far up each other's ass or their own asses that there's no humans to interact with. What do? Well, I recommend The Way of Monkey book. It's kind of a Tao Te Ching kind of Buddhist type of writing, but westernized, obviously, and therefore more practical. When 3 monkeys go forth and snort their farts, how many bells do you really need? Just what is it in English? Knock it off with the Confucius stuff. So I'd recommend that. And it is a good book, and I do have it. I even got wind chimes because of it. Wind chimes, Cappy. Well, imagine how big of a step that is for me. I know it's basic, but they're nice. They're relaxing. I hang them up there. Boy, they don't. You need a lot of wind to get them to make a noise. Almost like when it gets windy, I'm like, oh my God, they're chiming. I got to rush there and sit down now, which is actually the complete opposite of what you want to achieve when trying to calm down. There you go. And then also Velo Wave. So I got my solar panels. Let me get this Velo Wave. That's not it. Edit, undo. Edit, undo. What the hell? Okay, no, I'm not going to save. Don't save. I had the, oh God, really? Why do you charge so much for sponsors? This is why. All right. Copy. Here we go. All right. So Cappy has an electric bike, pedal assist. It's a Velo Wave. I have the Prado S model. I think I'm providing the link below. Okay. I've provided the link below. And if you want to get into it's a very specific group of people that it's of use for. Usually it would be if you want to commute to work and you have a short commute, or it would be perfect for New Yorkers, urban people. All right. I got it for more emergency purposes where I have a vehicle that can carry me long distances in case there's no gas. I hook up the bike trailer to it, haul all my gear and equipment with me. And it has a range of about 45 miles on one charge. Maybe not with the gear, but with me on it, I could go about 45 miles. And it's cool. And I even got like biking in it again. I mean, if you pedal, you can go further. But think about that. Let's say you pedal just a little bit. You can, and I got the thick one. I got the big one, so it's heavy. I think the lighter models could go further. But I got a 50-mile range, renewable, rechargeable thing where in a post-apocalyptic world, I could get long distances. It could go off-road. Now, obviously, it won't go as far and fast off-road, but I could get away from the masses. And when all the highways clog up with cars, because the normies, conformies, and inferiors have a quarter tank of gas, think they're going to make it out of the major metro. Think about this. You're in the major metro, right? And you got this vehicle that you could park, anywhere. It's a bike. Right? It's not a vehicle, so you don't have to pay for parking, right? So you just hook it up, you attach it with the bike lock around a parking meter. You're not paying gas for commuting. You're not paying for parking. You go to the local thing. You could do all electric. You don't have to pedal. It just becomes an electric scooter and you go around. All right? Perfect for urban living, or you happen to live in an area where your grocery store is down a block that way and your bar is down that way and your gym's the other direction. All right? So like places where golf carts are, the people who live in islands. So this is like ideal for that. But especially if you're in a major metro, you're not getting out of that town with your car. So what you should do is you go get this Prado S, right? Because you get $200 off if you use the code word Aaron, 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 capitalize. And then while all the cars have blocked the roads and you just go by on the sidewalk or the trails, the paved trails or the shoulder or whatever. And then you are 20 miles easy past where the traffic has ended. And then you look behind you. If you want, you can attach a rear view mirror, although it'd have to come up off the bike. You attach a rear view mirror. Why would I attach a rear view mirror? So you can see San Francisco and Chicago burn in flames behind you. And like, bye-bye. All the death and carnage and mayhem. Like, hey, look at Democrat policies at work. All right. We knew they're going to kill everyone. And then it's nighttime, and then you take guards. So you got you should bring your towing, your bike, what's it called? Trailer. You're like, here's your AR-15, here's your AR-15, and here's my AR-15. And now we're going to go to sleep, and you got a shift, and I got a shift, and you guys, we're all going to get 6 hours sleep. All right, back on the bikes. And then boom, you put another 45 miles between you and the chaos. And you keep heading south where it's warm. And all of a sudden, you're in some town, middle of nowhere, Indiana, and it's safe. And then who knows, maybe the solar panels are charging the bikes. And then you're like, hey, for I think it's $1,600. Well, 1,400 with the $200 off. For $1,400, that's a pretty good insurance policy to have, don't you think? You could throw it in your car if you want to get ahead of the crowds. You get in your car and you think, yeah, we're gonna have to abandon the car when there's no more gas. But you'll be the one. It's like having a horse essentially in the Wild West. What it is. All right, so there you go. Let's go to the super chats. Haven't gotten to the topics. Atham, whoa. Atham discovered his wallet. What? A $10 super chat, which tragically I can't see. I know it has to do with Mexican culture and feces. I'm gonna assume Mexican poops is in there somewhere with a spastic rabbit or a raccoon or some woodland creature farting hearts or something like that. Me, Mike, $2 for every young Smith & Wesson before I accept old age. Yeah, I mean, I'm. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you another something. Are you gonna tell us something? I'm gonna tell you something, dude. I'm almost 48. I'm gonna make 50 look so damn good. I'm gonna make 50 look spectacular, man. And let's not lie either. Every guy wants to be like, I want to be that silver fox, so I look good. Why? So the girls still hit on me. I've let go of that. It's not going to happen. All right, you're not going to. The younger girls, not even the middle age. The girls aren't just no. Especially if you're short. Don't. Just like, hey, how you doing? Oh no. I'm just happy I look this good. You're 48. Damn right. Wow, you look great. Yes, I do, don't I? I do. And I'll be perfectly honest, it's mostly genetics. Being in shape helps, yeah, but it's mostly genetics. But you darn right. I'm gonna look good. But just don't have the expectations you're gonna Dolph Lundgren it up. So the client, he wanted me to do a clarity test on Dolph Lundgren. Very interesting fellow. He's like, you missed the best part. And I'm like, what? Oh, he's engaged now to this young 25-year-old thing, and he's 64. And I'm like, how the hell would I know that? I wouldn't advise getting engaged to a 25-year-old. You have sex with a 25, don't get engaged. It's like, good for Dolph. Good for Dolph. But I'm not doing this. Unless I'm terminally ill and there's going to be pain, I'm not doing the Smith & Wesson retirement plan. Which you can read it. What is the Smith & Wesson retirement plan? Well, go get the book, Enjoy the Decline, and you'll find out. Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Me, Mike, $5. A toast to those failure to launch millennials and Zoomers will have the lowest divorce rate in history because they ain't getting married, saying she ain't got no eggs. No more eggs. She's dried up with her eggs. 0 eggs. They're not getting married. There's three. You're talking about three things, three separate things. You're talking divorce rate, marriage, and reproduction, which are three separate things. At one time they kind of correlate. Now they don't. It's kind of good they're not getting married. I don't say because they're not capable of it, but it's kind of like guns. Americans have proven they're not responsible with guns, and I'm still against gun control. But there was a time high schoolers could take their guns to school. And, there was even, marksman groups in sports, in high school sports. You go to the rifle range. And now we've raised irresponsible children where, oh, no, you're going to have guns. Oh, well, the American people should look at that and realize what the politicians are saying of them. And they're right. You're right. You don't want guns in the LA public schools. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do want fentanyl on the streets. Maybe you do. Big case of it. Here you guys go. Oh, you want heroin? Here's all of it. What happened? Where's the crime? Oh, what happened? But marriage is the same way. We're just not a responsible enough society for marriage. No one's responsible enough. Just aren't. Men aren't going to work and support themselves. Girls aren't going to remain attractive or thin or supporting or kind. So it's just it's no, you don't get married anymore. I mean, you have the right, just you should have the right to get a gun, but you probably shouldn't. And then the eggs thing. We're gonna get to that. Oh boy. Oh boy. She ain't got no eggs. No more eggs. Peter Jordanson. Thinking Ape always calls him Jeter Portenson. Peter Jordanson says, if you have no kids, then you are immature and delusional. Ho, ho, ho. Let's listen to the drug addict. Yeah, let's also listen to the guy whose daughter is a single mom whore. Attention whore. Just a despicable person. All right. I was thinking about how many video responses can I do to the stupidity over on the interwebs? And I like Jordan Peterson. He's right about most things. I still respect him, but like this one, it's like, it's like Dennis Prager. Look, could we agree that Jordan Peterson and Dennis Prager kind of cut from the same cloth? Idealism. Hey, look at the cute major sitting behind the enemy line, or not behind the enemy, over at Battalion, and then sipping his coffee. Well, we here at the front lines are getting mowed down, and they're telling us, oh, just that's not really happening. Get married again. You can't help it that they're old. Thank you, Jordan, for breeding. Thank you for bringing your daughter into this world. Thank you so much. What a contribution. And that your grandson or grandchild, I forget if you had a grandson or granddaughter, I'm sure they're just going to grow up under the best of conditions. Oh. Generation of power for $5. Micro bleep auto updates in Windows 10 that you can't turn off. My biggest annoyance. So I didn't know this. So I bought a Xbox One, which never again. I'm not getting PlayStation or Xbox ever again. I'm a Switch man now. Xbox One, the operating system is 10, Windows 10. And so it's always updating. And that's why you can't play your games. I am shocked I found several games that were cheap and affordable that had minimal updates and downloads, but now it's just a standard thing. They've spread your butthole with an anal butt plug for you young boys and girls to just accept downloads and then updates, and then you got to get the DLC, then you got to pay, and soon you got a Sequoia Redwood with Microsoft's logo on it up your ass. No. I buy the cartridge, right? I own the game for Nintendo. I put it in the Switch. I turn it on. I play the effing game. And it turned out Xbox Ones. There are several variants of Xbox Ones, and not all Xbox One's games play on the different play. Like, okay, all right, just maybe your truly loyal customer base, Microsoft, will tolerate the further widening of their assholes. Not me. I remember going in. I want to play. What was it? It was a game that came highly recommended by a female agent in the field. Not that she played it, but her nephews played it. And I said, "Oh, this game." And now hat tip to the GameStop employee. She said, "Hey, you need to have this type of Xbox to play this game." I'm like, I got to go back and find out what kind of Xbox One I got. Google searching because that's what I want to do. Look under here. It's like trying to check the gender of a gerbil, which Vince over at Masculine Geeks does all the time. Like, oh, I think it's a boy. No, it's a girl. And then I'm like, oh, I think it's an S. No, it's an X. Oh, I can't play the game. That's what I want to do. So yes, your Xbox One will update all the time. And they literally just attach a controller to a computer. That's it. You might as well be playing PC Master Race. The Blue Wrench is in the house. I got his book here. Where is it? The Velocity of Information. It's out of my reach. It's too far on the ground. The Velocity of Information, written by Dr. David Perrodin. If you have kids, please read it. Vlad Elkins is in the house. Someone, not me. Oh, that was me. I can't ban myself. I put that in there. I'm like, who's spoofing me? I'm like, oh, it is me. Legitimately. Oh my God, celebrity. Red Pill Manosphere celebrity T-Rash is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. When's that book coming out? Evan, 10 Canadian bucks. I met a guy from Bangalore and jokingly said, that's where my job will soon be outsourced. He laughed and said, everyone in Bangalore is worried about having their job outsourced to the Philippines. This is very germane to my next book coming out, which is not going to be a terribly long book, but it's going to be an addendum to Bachelor Pad Economics. When are you going to come out with a second edition? Never. I'm not rewriting a book. I will make an addendum or a companion piece because it really is. I have a feeling corporations are so focused on money that they are forgetting the long-term viability of their profitability. And that is, look, you can outsource certain things, but if you're just going to chase, save an extra 3 cents on a dollar outsourcing to the Philippines because you get paid, you're going to alienate countries and cultures and entire societies. And there's going to be no reliability or responsibility. They're just going to be like, no, we're not working for you. It's where the lie flat and the great resignation or the quiet quitting is all coming in. I can't find employees. Why should they work for you? Why? And then that consequently brings about the question, well, then what kind of work environment are we going to have in the future? And it's going to be one that is very self-centered, not in an arrogant way, but it has to be. It's like, I'm not working for a corporation. I have to support myself outside corporate employment. So you can have government jobs. That's one way to do it. But self-employment, obviously, but it's more than just drop ship, bro, self-employment, get a side gig. It's more critical than that. Hey. What did we talk about action versus words? Isn't tomorrow the last day for the extensions, Chad? So you start working on what now? Your teachable class, right? You need to get out of Chicago. So what do? I need to lose weight. Don't be a chick on us. Don't chick out on us, Chad. Don't you chick out on us. You start packing your stuff and looking for an apartment. And then you rent a U-Haul and then you head south. She ain't got no eggs. Ishmaster, $5. Hey, Cappy, just passed my CDL road test. Congratulations. Congratulations on not being poor, being richer than nearly every other millennial at half their age. I'll be working on getting a job and endorsement. So you pass the test, you don't get an endorsement, or I guess you pass the test and you go get that endorsement on your driver's license. Congratulations, though. That's awesome, man. Do me a favor. When you're not driving, when you get your first real driving thing, send me a picture of like you on the road with your rig. Just email me over at assholeconsulting.com. I'll email you back because you can't attach it, and then you can attach the picture. But that's awesome, man. That's great. Like what, 3-4 weeks of study and work and practice, and now you're going to be more employable than about 85%. And I'm not joking. 85% of idiots that went to college for 4 to 6 years. Think about that. In 4 to 6 weeks, you accomplished more than what most kids do going to school for 4 to 6 years, and at the price of at least $100,000 if you include opportunity costs. That is awesome. But just so you know, Ish, girls are going to be like, ooh, Ish, he's a truck driver. Ooh, grody. She ain't got no eggs. No more eggs. Actually, what would be hilarious-ish if you're the guy driving the egg freezing machines. I'm picturing something very science fiction looking, like they're all glowing green or something, and a lot of tubes coming on and glass cylinders, and you're just driving with a hat. And there's a bunch of old 40-something women like clawing at the stuff. And there's this guy with machine guns. No, get back, get back. You have to pay $100,000 to use these. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, don't want to skip. See, this is why we got to do it. Got to do it thoroughly. Man, we got a lot of girls. We got Savannah in here. We got Lauren. What's with the Atham? Stop letting in all the girls, man. We put up some chicken wire. They're still getting in somehow. Eric Burns Marsh, $5. You brought Peterson and Prager. Don't forget hoax arrest Gavin McGinnis. Oh, wasn't he the hipster dude that wasn't all that cool, but he had a funny beard and dressed with a bow tie? Isn't that basically the conservative libertarian version of Russell Brand? You know, crazy, zany stuff. I know it's very boring here. I know my books are boring. I know my advice is boring. Spend less than you make. Don't major in dumb stuff. Socialism is slavery. What else? Don't get fat. Eat your vegetables. I know this is boring, sad, dry stuff. But I've been telling you this for decades. And now people, you just put crazy zany things and the kids eat it up with a spoon. Funny hair. Oh my God. Did you know Cappy or tits? You need a zany haircut, whether that's a beard like Gavin or Jesus Christ haircut, Russell Brand. or teehee. What's the gal? She's from Rapid City too. She ain't got no eggs. Are rapidly coming up. She complained she couldn't find a man. Not Meghan McCain. That's John McCain's now fat daughter. Whatever. They blend together. It doesn't matter. It's a set of tits. Honestly, I'm not joking. Okay, cutesy. Nice set of tits. Hear your talking point, sweetheart. Read this and just take the money. It's another thing of kind of run silent, run deep. Like if you guys reach this prestigious old man league, like get your finances together. You got your used truck paid off. You got no flash. You got no cash. Like those guys, I'm not kidding. It is. I bet you could do this. So you got the stereotypical thin, not fat, thin Black Vietnam veteran with gray hair, and his cadre of fellow retiree guys, and they're solving the world's problems. And they're there on a Tuesday morning drinking their coffee, right? And they're going to go golf at a nice golf course, nicer golf course than what I can afford. And then you also have these cutesy girly girls coming in, some professional, some just young and cute. They can't find a man. And these girls wouldn't give these guys a second look. Now, admittedly, probably because of their age. I'll grant you that. But they wouldn't even consider these guys. I mean, like, those guys got all the money in the world. Those guys got their military pension, the VA, whatever, their engineers or whatever. Because you look, that brand new Mercedes is not owned by me. And it ain't owned by the girl behind the counter either. It's Herman, the thin black man who's gone a little bit gray, Vietnam veteran with his hat. That's him. Herman owns that. We're going to get to this. You girls wouldn't know a rich man if he hit you in your face with his dick. With a wad, with $100 bills, with rubber bands wrapped around his dick. He could take it to the slingshot. Plap, right in your face. You wouldn't know. Same thing. What's happened to him? What happened to the zany guy? What happened to the clown? Oh, he's probably got way more. I know he's probably doing way better. I'm like, look, you can wait for the shiny, zany clown to come in and tell you what to do, what the right advice, or you can look for the quiet, boring, run silent, run deep Ward Cleaver. Somewhere in between I lay. I'm a little more charismatic than Ward. I'm not a circus act freak show like the other guys. And don't get me wrong, I agree with them. I'm happy to see these guys on that. But it's like, look, do you all need, I guess you need the lights and the flash. I guess you do. It's human nature. Are we there? Do we catch up with all the super chats? We are. All right. Hang on. Now, why don't you go take a break? I'm going to go look this up. Oh, hang on. I got to go on Twitter first. Let me do that. That'll be the most direct way to find it. Let's see if Twitter would load up. Twitter also having 5 different. Do you want to log in? Log in. Click here if you want to log in or sign up. Log in. Sign up or log in. Log in. Do you want to enter your phone number? Just let me log in. All right. This was very interesting. Someone tagged this on me on the oh, there's the other article. Let me type this in. Study by Kruger. It's going to be the unprofessional. Those aren't zeros, Aaron. Yeah, those are zeros. Hang on. No. Like I said, take a break, guys. Here, I'm going to mute this. I'll let you know. I found it, but it's behind a paywall, but I found the thing. Let's read the Twitter one. Oh, okay, Twitter. You have to reload, huh? That's great. I'm right on the page I want. You got to reload. All right. A study by Kruger, 2008, and I'll see if I can't find a more detailed thing. Provides a compelling example of dishonest signals in a different domain. Make sure I'm not. There we go. Oh, let's get rid of that. Study by Kruger, 2008, provides a compelling example of dishonest signals in a different domain. Kruger found that men who spend rather than save, and especially those who spend more money than they make, have significantly more sex partners than those who are more frugal. Nowadays, with the advent of easy credit, men can use conspicuous spending to exaggerate their earnings. When it comes to the use of dishonest signals in the arena of reproductive competition, MasterCard has become an analog to Maybelline. In theory, the existence of dishonest signals would be expected to create selective pressure for adaptations that enable people boobity boobity boo. The Science of Sex Appeal, Evolutionary Expensive is the title of that. I want to find that particular one. That's it. They got it under wraps. You got to pay to get this thing. Science of evolution features and attractive. It's 2010. This is a different study that is also under the thing. All right. So here's the thing. You kind of knew it, but I'll tell you a story. There was this group of guys. Story time with Uncle Cappy. Everyone gather around. So back when Cappy was going out in his 20s, this is a group of guys, and they were even younger than me. And it was a continuation of high school. Like, these are the popular guys. They came in. They were the cool guys. They were friendly. Nothing wrong with them. But I was like looking at it, and I knew what it cost to have a car because I had crappy cars. And these guys came in with brand new cars, fancy cars. And they They were the level of partiers that if you went to a party, they'd have, cocaine at the place. So I'm like, "Alright, they're connected. These are the cool kids from the suburbs." And I was doing the math. I'm like, "Alright, maybe 1 or 2 of these guys got the extra money, but there's no way they can afford those cars. Not at that age and not on that salary." And sure enough, you find out like you will in any high school, yeah, most of them didn't have the money. Another one very close related, also in the Twin Cities. I went to a wedding. Oh my god, the most douchebaggiest wedding I've ever been to. So this guy gets married, and he works at a company, I can say it, sales company, alright? It doesn't narrow it down, sales company. And, invites the best man and friends. Obviously, some people come from this company, and they're all salesmen, bro. And these are people in their 30s now, mind you, and they're wearing sunglasses indoors. And just the stereotypical, like, you're in the last stages of your jock years, dude. And I'm not talking to a guy getting married. I'm talking to all the guys that were invited. Like, this is it. And they all had some young thing on their arm. All the cars were all BMWs, and they all broke down later. And bro, and I'm like looking at this, and I was in my 30s at the time too. I'm like, really? Really? And the wedding was more of a nightclub environment than it was like a wedding and, having fun and just watching these douchebags, and that's what they were, stereotypical douchebags giving their dude bro speeches. I'm like, well, then later on, fast forward several years, I run into one of these guys, and he's working, he's moving, he's working for a moving company, he's moving furniture. What happened to the sales thing? Brah. Oh, that went under. What happened to all the money? Brah. Oh, you didn't save it. And what you did make, you spent more. And whereas we could point out the hypocrisy, the ridiculousness of how they act. They got laid. They had gorgeous women on their arms. I mean, they ruined their finances. They're crippled financially for the rest of their lives. They are never making it to the land of Canaan where Cappy and the League of Extraordinary Old People hang out with nothing, no obligations, no reliability or liabilities or responsibilities. All right, yeah, we win in the end. But at that point in time, yeah, they got laid. But you had to go into debt to put up this, which we're talking science, right? Right, people? Right, academics? That's a scientific study I just quoted. So, what? Another bit of evidence? Women are whores in a way? Huh? Men are Johns, women are whores? Literally, from an economic perspective? Not all, I know. But the guys, if they spent the money sending out signals, that's the context of what it, women thought, oh, they made more money. Which you understand, women want, obviously, go with the guy, but it's about money? Don't tell me. See, and I've never claimed otherwise. I've never. Oh, hang on. Oh, look at that. There we go. Boom. Early. It's always been that way. It always has been. It's just when it's the transaction goes through barter, then it's love. It's romance. It's a Disney movie. Oh, he paid for a house and provided. Put food on the table. Well, he paid, right? So isn't he kind of a John and she kind of a whore? Like, isn't it that's prostitution? No, it's different. No, it's not. But it goes to the extent like, and it's kind of the same way. Like a lot of you young people, you can't afford a house. One of the main reasons you can't afford a house or tuition is the exact same thing, is because you're allowed to borrow money to afford these things. And so now you're given 10 times the amount of money on a 30-year mortgage to drop on a house that you wouldn't have been able to afford a house if you had to pay cash for it. So that drives up the price of houses and tuition 10 times. And now these dude bros come in and they borrow money And let's say you're a responsible man, you know what the girls claim they really want, which would be better for you girls in the long run, but I'm not gonna even try to sell you on the merits of dating a guy who's responsible and frugal and a real man. These guys come in with the wads of cash banks lent them, which they'll file for bankruptcy later on. So you girls like liars and thieves and cheats, but I'm not gonna. And they got their fancy clothes, and they got their fancy cars, and they got their house or their apartment, or their parents subsidize them somehow. And you girls like, so what? Hey, what, you know that Pacific Ocean? Yeah, the biggest body of water in the world, not the biggest body anymore. What happened? Chaz over there borrowed a ton of money and bought a bunch of stuff on credit. And now all the women have they got so wet. There's a new ocean. It's called the Ocean of Chad. The earth is practically all ocean now. And then for those of you who are like, playing life on hard mode, you're using cash. You're paying cash. Well, here's the car I could afford. Seriously, think about it. You girls couldn't identify a genuinely rich man again if he took a rubber band, wrapped $100 bills around his dick, pulled it back, hit you in the face with it. I'm not advocating violence. I'm providing a joke. See if you guys still have humor, all right? By the way, kids, this is not child friendly. Probably have to mark it as such. All right, you wouldn't know it because all you see is pretty shiny. And I don't know, maybe we got this natural ability to suss out BS real quick. Wearing remember the shade, like the blinded sunglasses? They weren't just a piece of glass, like a one piece of glass. There was like blinds that shaded down. That's what they were wearing at the wedding, indoors at night. Sweetheart, come here. Douchebag. Can you say debt-ridden douchebag? But he's got a shiny car, and he spends all the money. Now, admittedly, many years ago, we're talking over a decade ago, I've always said women don't care about, they don't differentiate between debt or equity spending as long as you spend it on them. And for some savvy women, they're like, yeah, what do I care? I'm not going to marry the guy. I like being taken out. So as long as the consumption is spent on them, fair play to the ladies, you're right. But where girls get caught with their pants down, or maybe not because, marriage, I saw this in banking, is where you would see, go get my book Behind the Housing Crash. You could see all these fake dude bros when they end up becoming my. And here's what the real problem is. You're wondering where these guys end up and where you girls get your comeuppance because you don't bother to read an income statement or a balance sheet. You're like, how does this businessman with his real estate empire, how come he's always got to go to the bank? Like, I don't know if you knew this or not, but going to the bank sucks. You don't want to go to the bank. It's boring. It's a chore. It's like going to the dentist. And maybe that's a real quick way for you girls to identify. I'll get to my point later. Maybe another way for you girls to identify a guy who's really rich. He's not always going to the bank. You know why they're always going to the bank? If your husband or boyfriend and who's a successful business guy, bro, if he's going to the bank once a month, you know why he's going? Because he don't got the money. He needs to keep borrowing money, or he's behind and he keeps getting called to the bank and he'll spin it. Oh, I got a business meeting with my banker. Dude, my banker is I got a banker. Nice lady. I don't want to talk to her all the time. And when I do talk to her, you know what it's about? Her family. Hey, what's going on? Won't mention her name. It's not about my business. You know why? I don't need money. I don't borrow money because my business, small as it might be, is profitable. But every time I see one of these gray-haired baby boomer MRFers coming in with their leased Mercedes and their leased Range Rover, they were always asking for more money and always come up with excuses to why they didn't have the money. Anyway, where it would end up costing you girls is if you were dumb enough to marry one of these dude bros, thinking that was all real money. And so what happened, and this happened a lot. It was great. It was wonderful to see where the housing crash came. These guys had all their assets were tied up in housing or property, real estate, the way they kept their business going is as the property values went up during the bubble, they would withdraw money like a second, third, fourth mortgage. They kept taking essentially home equity loans out of their property. And to keep a business alive that wasn't generating the cash flow and actual profit. They were losing money, and so they would have to go and take money out to stay current on the current loans that they had, other credit cards and operating lines of credit that they had, loans to run their business. And inevitably, when the appraisal started coming in lower than what they were before, and we wouldn't extend them any more money, their empire collapsed. Like sometimes literally over a week. And then guess what would happen? The banks, multiple banks, would repossess the car, repossess the house. And your little Barbie world in a Barbie world, it's fantastic. It's made of plastic. Yeah, well, the plastic, then the banks came and took the thing, and it was all plastic. It was fake. It was a house of cards. And these women didn't know. And what was great, if you want to see how sadistic and twisted I am, it wasn't like these girls were like married and 2 weeks later it happened. These guys kept these essentially Ponzi schemes going for at least a decade. So now you got kids, you're comfy in your little house, you got everything all the way you like it, girls. Like you're invested in this. Bam! Gone in a week. Corvette's gone, the Range Rover's gone, the house is gone. And it's such a crippling blow. Because it destroyed these women's lives. They thought they made it. They thought they got Chad, rich Chad. They got bankrupt Chad. Speaking of Chad, like you girls wouldn't touch Chad Elkins with a 1,000-foot pole. He's not 6 feet tall. Ew. He's a CPA. Snoresville. I mean, and I've seen him. I've watched his dating career, and it's imagine a quarterback. Chad's dating career, which is somewhat similar to most guys' dating career, but Chad's dating career would be like a quarterback who only got sacked all the time. Badly. You're like, oh, never even thrown the ball, fumbles all the time. But I know his defense doesn't cover for him. You girls went, but you know Chad, I'm not saying he's wealthy, but he's financially stable. He's well-to-do. Makes a good salary. Well, not salary. He's genuinely self-employed. He has no debts. He has a positive net worth. Oh, but he doesn't wear those blinded shades indoors at night. He doesn't have a fancy shirt. Oh. But man, it was awesome seeing it with these girls, women. They're older than me. And the snot-nosed kids who played hockey. These snot-nosed brats. It all goes away. All those assholes you went to high school with that thought they were bad because dad bought them a BMW, a brand new car. You know, those weapon grade asshole kids, that a lot of them bit the dust back then. And sometimes the solution these guys would have, so actually I know one guy ended up in jail. Some of them, the Smith & Wesson program, which did make the news a couple times, like, oh, where exactly did you think running a money-losing business would get you? And you played up borrowing. You took other people's money and built a McMansion and acted like you were super rich and successful, knowing you weren't making a single penny of profit. Where did you think that would end up? And sometimes they end up with the Smith & Wesson retirement plan. Wife leaves them. And then the wife is hosed. Wife is completely hosed. Now you got kids. The guy's its financial deadbeat. You can't get any money out of him. He might be facing federal charges and prison time. And you, with your stupid degree and whatever crap you majored in. Oh, it's great. It's great. And I would try to, again, you gals that tune in, you don't need me to tell you this, you know. But for a general sense, like, you know, as I try to help young kids not major in dumb crap, in a general sense, I could help young women or any women, like, okay, here's how you assess the financial stability of a guy without like actually getting his audited tax returns or a balance sheet or his credit report. Now, here's what you girls don't care about that. You're so immune and impervious to constructive, critical, practical, helpful advice. You don't want to listen to it. I honest to God I could take the dude bro douchebag with the, blind sunglasses at night, have all his I could be a CPA, go up to the girl. Look, this guy is broke. He ain't got no money. Just like you ain't got no eggs, he ain't got no money. Ain't got no cash. No real cash. He only has liabilities. So much debt. Like, here it is. And here's an IRS agent to verify that this is all true. It would, bing. I don't know. Maybe, see, what's his name? Is it Matt Hussey? Is he the British or Australian guy who's really handsome and the girls are like creating another ocean for him when they listen to him? Like, could I tag on a financial addendum? Like, look, here's how you find a financially reliable guy. But I don't even think with his beautiful looks and charm and his network, they just, they're not there to find a guy. They're pining after him, which he knows. Bravo for him. I hope he makes a ton of money and retires rich. But if you girls were interested in actually stable, healthy, death do you part type of thing, there's a course there, but I don't know. Even Real Femme Sapien, take a look at her. A lot of subscribers. Still, I think 75% men. Which is impressive. 1 in 4 people are a female audience, so that it's hope there. Maybe those girls, but it just shows you how little actual interest there is in practical advice and fiscal responsibility. So there you guys go. There's a compelling argument if you want to get the girls. Fashion is very important. And the good thing is you can get some good clothes that look good. Well, then again, I wonder, do girls want to know what's on the brand name tag? Don't play the car game. Just don't play that. That's just, I'm sorry, girls, you're presenting men with a choice. You can have hoo-ha, or you can have financial stability and financial freedom. You can't have both. Like college loans, like housing, you must go into crippling levels of debts to afford us. And I've said it before, you girls, I said, you girls can't make a bleep test illegal. You can't make it illegal for a guy to be like, you got to fight him, and then maybe I'll go home with. And you can't make it so that the pursuit of you ruins a man's life, financially, career-wise, or whatever. You can't make the pursuit of women a mutually exclusive event to a man living a contented, or not even happy, but just living an okay, like namely his finances. But if you're going to, but man, I'll tell you right now, you just pay for it. You're going to say it again. You just pay for it. You want to talk about expensive. Maintaining a lifestyle for a woman is infinitely more expensive than just paying for it directly. Barter is way more indirect and way more costly. And if I had the time and the wherewithal, I would love to go and do a study on the peaceful who live in prestigious Pines, all these fancy McMansion suburb places. And I'd love to see what percentage of men are in debt. You're going into debt to pay for it. That's all you're doing. And so guys, you can't, I guess this is what I would conclude with in this particular one. It's like, okay, you're on a boat and it capsizes with your family. Who do you put the life reserve, life raft, or the life vest on first? Yourself, so you can save other people. You got to look out for yourself. You can't enjoy life if you're financially crippled. You can't enjoy life if you're not healthy. You have to take care of yourself first. So if the choice comes, well, to play the game, I got to borrow money just to essentially buy the attention and audience with women? No, you get your financial act together. And you know what? Okay, maybe the girls will never recognize you. Maybe because you have a paid off truck and it's not as shiny as the guy's brand new whatever Range Rover. And then you don't get the girls. But yeah, at least you get to eat. At least you're not going to the bank every month having to lie to everybody. Oh, yeah, I got to meet with my banker. I'm a high important guy. No, you're a financial parasite. You're essentially panhandling at that point with an interest rate attached to it. You got to take care of your finances, guys. Now, thankfully, with the younger generations, I think they're dropping out of that. I think the internet and just the despicable and untenable situation that corporate America and employers have made modern day employment. People are dropping out. The materialism is going away. And let's also just admit that younger generations are just lazy. You've been instilled with a Democrat work ethic or a lack thereof. At one time, a Democrat work ethic meant real, no joke, like labor union, like union tradesmen. Now you're just a bunch of, parasites, essentially. So, I mean, there is laziness too. But at least thankfully, this seems to be going away. I mean, I was surprised Chad Elkins went to a nightclub in Chicago, and it's like, yeah, it was like $30 or $20 a drink or something. I'm like, what? That still exists? I, no. So hopefully, but it's still there, so don't fall for it. I mean, is really like it was Cavaricci in my day. I guess it's Louis Vuitton. It's not baton. I thought it was Baton. Louis Vuitton. Like he tossed batons in the air. It was like, those girls, that was impressive. Like, I guess. No, don't. Choose life. Don't choose here. Do you want to choose financial servitude? Do you want to choose slavery with pussy? Or do you want to choose freedom where you just pay for it anyway, but you're not going to get it permanently? Tommy Lauren, that's the gal that's from Rapid City. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to the super chats. Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Rawhide. Aspuggett. Hey, I got your email. Thank you very much. I'll be singing Ain't Got No Eggs again. No, thanks. I got to get Kevin Savo in. She ain't got no eggs. I'm not a musician. I just got that ditty, that tune in my head. I'm sure he could do a good rap. It'd be great. It'd be great. And I can't sing. He can sing. He can sing. He can rap. I can't. Maybe there'd be like a refrain where I sing or read in the background. Hand clogs, $5. Morning, Cappy. Going to Las Vegas and going to La Casa, but what else should I do? Well, I mean, if you like cigars, there's the Man Cave over on the south end. What's the weather? Is it still hot down there? Let's take a look at Las Vegas weather. 90s. So that's not bad. You could start doing some hiking. Go hike up other side of town in Mount Charleston. I'd go hike around. Bristlecone Trail is a pretty good one. Pretty steep. Nice view once you get to the ridge. I honestly, with Vegas, it's golfing for me and hiking. Oh, I love the Dog of No Real Value. I go to the dog park with Dog of No Real Value. I hike. If I'm on the west side, I like Red Rock Canyon. You don't even have to go to Red Rock Canyon because you got to pay for it. There's a place called Calico Basin. I like hiking around there. Black Mountain is always a fun one. Probably want to do that in the morning so it's not too hot. So by the time you're coming down, you're downhill. Thankfully, there's some wind up there. And I don't know. I just like the restaurants. So the restaurants have kind of gone to pot. That's the one thing I will admit I'm not a minimalist at. I do pay for good food. I think I'm gonna outlive my money. And it's like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Like, I really want it because I didn't have food. It wasn't good. I really love food, man, especially the good food. Like, oh my God. It's kind of like I get to bang the prom queen. I get to eat the great food. I don't want to bang the prom queen now. I saw what she turned out to be. The food stayed good. The prom queen didn't. I don't even know who my prom queen was back in the day. Yeah. I've discovered Brazilian steakhouses. That's pricey. That's like maybe a once every 2-month treat. I don't know. I'm not a big casino guy. If you haven't visited the Shelby Mustang Museum, check that out. Sloan Canyon, they have ancient petroglyphs there. That's cool. That's on this far south side, kind of by Black Mountain over in Anthem. Not Atham, Anthem. If they just changed the name a little bit, they would have had a really cool name. Statue of Atham. All these statues of Athams in various states of embarrassing poses. Oh God, we live in Atham. Oh, I'm so yeah, you gotta see. He's mooning the entire neighborhood. So yeah, that's what I would do. I just go get a whore. Just go get laid. Just do it. Just go have some fun. Hat and Clogs, $2. What cigar should I get? I don't know. If you're out La Casa, their house brands, Detroit. I would get one of their Detroits, whatever varies gauge and length and size. Otherwise, Rocky Patels are good. I always go with Connecticut Reps, lighter cigars, because I'm not into the heavier cigars, but that's the cigar I would recommend. Boom, 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 boom. We got a $20 here. Marcus Brown, who said, hang on, let me show you. So Marcus stopped by, and he didn't have to. Marcus, that was an awfully kind card you sent. So he got me a silver dollar with an Indian head on it. Isn't that kind of cool? I don't know if that, yeah. And then on the back, there's a buffalo. Now, yeah, it's not an American eagle, but these are cool. These buffalo silver dollars, and they got me an actual silver bullet. It doesn't fire. I don't think it has any gunpowder in it. But yeah, Marcus came by, and he says Chad is awesome, and I guess he's all right. He's all right. But yeah, he hung out and fed a little girl ice cream at 10 p.m. There's this little girl. I won't give him the detail. Just this little 6-year-old girl, not his daughter, not a little girl was in attendance. And I think kids are innocent, and they get to be child once. I said, "Do you want anything to eat?" She got to stay up late with the adults. Yeah, I said, "Well, let's go into the fridge." I said, "Do you want a pickle?" No. Do you want some cheese and crackers? No. Do you want a hot dog? No. And then I look, I say, "Do you want some ice cream?" Yeah. Like, scoop you up some ice cream, kid, and chocolate syrup and color sprinkles, and there you go. And I just got a smile like, that's it. Little kid gets ice cream at 10 p.m. That's what happens in Cappy's household. Adults, you get broccoli. You're assholes. The kids get ice cream. Me, Mike, $5. Right. How's that post Epiphany 304 born again, no eggs game plan working on now? Oh, you just wait, me, Mike. You just wait. But hey, he spent his debt equity on you during your youth. Stay single, gal. Chad Elkins, $5. No. Marcus Brown is the one who saw it. He actually is. Marcus is pretty freaking cool. He's the nicest guy. Comes over. I'm ecstatic. They're on the way back to a place, and then they detour and come visit me. I'm like, hell yeah. And then he's the one that buys me a gift. So it was good to see Marcus. Oh, wait. Marcus. Yeah. By the way, Marcus. Oh, do I have it? Yeah, here. Yeah, right here. Hang on. Marcus is. No, this is worthless. Where's the Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty? Is this it? No, that's the Book of Numbers. What? Damn it. Why do I write so many books? That's somewhere here. Marcus is he's the model on the cover of the Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. So help me on it. Marcus, $5. I'm trying to get like Chad. Chad shall have the last laugh. Hey, look, as long as you guys keep attaching $5 to each of the messages you send to each other on the super chats, I'm okay with it. You guys can blow each other as much as you want. That's fine, as long as it's $5 a blow. How is this guy still here? Like, what's it like your life? Not you guys. I'm not talking about, but there's like there's a porn site trying to spam the chat room. It's like, what's that like? That's your job, really? And I know it's a robot. Sky Bellinaris, new guy, 20 generous dollars. Hey Cap, a couple of expensive crumble cookies on me. Yeah, they are expensive. I've been let down though by them. I do look. They are the best cookies in the world. The problem is they always change their menu. And the past like month, every week they get a new batch of cookies that come in. And the past month, there's been nothing that's been appetizing. Nothing. So I'm kind of sad because then I got to go to, there's other pastry shops in Rapid City, but you go up there and you're like, oh boy, crumble cookie. I put in a retaining wall. I can eat 3 of these if I want. Your books helped me change my life and get everything in order. Thank you. I went from $11 an hour at McDonald's, now $54 entry level at Amazon in 10. Awesome. That's great. Not that hard. Spend less than you make. Don't have kids you can't afford. Don't major in dumb crap. Don't commit crime. That's it. Aaron, how did you get the black community out of poverty? So I said this 4 things many times, and then they woke up. They realized, hey, did you notice that every time we do what the Democrat says, we just get poorer? Well, there's this crazy fellow on the internet with Marcus Brown. The Marcus Brown? Yes, the Marcus Brown is on the cover. Oh, I got to get that. Hey, now we make more than the Asian people. Thanks, Aaron Clary. No, the Chuck Norris. Thank you, Chuck Norris. And that's how that guy got an entire race out of poverty. Well, he just told him 4 things. 4 things. What did the white people do? They kept looking at their navel like, I'm going to major in social engineering and try and save the children and help snails. Why are we poor? Isn't that what's going to inevitably happen to white people? The ugly women are all going to be SJW protester teacher types. And what few good-looking girls are going to be internet porn stars, right? And there ain't going to be nothing in between. And that would be, I guess you could say it out of all. And then there'll be like this very small sliver of people like engineers and doctors like, well, we kind of have a semblance of a normal life. Oh, we're the ones paying all the taxes? Oh. Ain't got. Well, anyway, I'm glad you're making very good money. Very good money. Sky Bellinaris, $10. I'm 25, Army vet, went through the VA program called Vet Tech. It launched last year. I recommend it to any vets if they ever come to you for consulting program, pays for a coding bootcamp. There we go, guys. Vet Tech. You know what? I'm going to put that on the sponsor thing here because that will help out. Vet Tech for vets to learn programming. There we go. All right. That'll help out. But got no eggs. No more eggs. She ain't got no eggs. All dried up. She ain't got no eggs. Ba ba ba. I'm cleaning up. Marcus Brown, $5. I'll never go to another nightclub unless I'm getting in for free or it's another country where USD affords twice as much. Hashtag passport bros. Yeah, I think the last time I was at a nightclub, it was a good night. Ended up making out with a girl salsa dancing. And this was one of the stories where she wanted me to come home and it was 3 a.m. Like we shut it down. I'm like, I got to go to work in 5 hours. And she's like, an error, tried refreshing. Oh, okay, I gotta do that. Oh, hang on, let me screw up. Whoa. I lost it here. And it was fun. I mean, we closed it. It was First Avenue. We just closed it down, and that was it. I have no desire to go to loud. I'm even at bars where the TV is too loud because they're watching the sports ball. I'll leave. I won't even go. I'm like, nope. it's just not worth it. I'm very curious how many people under 30 even go to nightclubs anymore. Beast with Red Pill for $2. Hey, Clary, waiting for an email response. 100% all. Yeah, is it for shorts or whatever? Yeah, just give me time. Just give me time. Um, and by time it could be next year because it's so low on my priority list. I am not in the mode of making money. I am making enough money, and my mode is to go have fun now. Like after this, I'm going to go for a hike. So that don't I do appreciate it, but yeah, I have it. I have it. Marcus Brown, $2. She still asked to visit again for ice cream. Kids are so simple, man. They're so simple. Do you want to go have fun and get exercise? Yeah, well, clean the room first, then we go. Do you want ice cream? You do? Here you go. Do you want hugs? There you go. Let's go. Do you want to ride in the back of a truck? That's completely illegal, but we're going to do it anyway. We'll just drive around. Yeah. Do you want to do that? You do? Let's go. Here's some balloons. Let's go do that. That's it. Ice cream at 10 p.m., guys. That's it. Look, you're not going to win them over when they get older. All right. Their standards and expectations go stratospheric. While you can impress a young lady, impress her when they're young and say, here's a bowl of ice cream at an obscure hour of the, and they'll love it. They'll love it. And that's the only time women really deserve to be spoiled anyways. When the little girls, what do you want? You get it. You want to go to a museum? Let's go to a museum. You want to go swim? We'll go swimming. Whatever they want, they get. And then once they turn 12 or 13, they won't even want to hang out with you anymore. Like, yeah, museum. They're only sweet and adorable for so long. And then they grow up and become bitter old adults like us. Hey, Black Kojak is in the house. An Australian UK agent in the field. Boo, 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 boo. All right. Now, let us also go to the Twittergrams. Let me also find. Now, this is, hang on. You know what? I'm going to go take a dump. I'll be back. This is everyone go take a break. I'll be back in a second. All right, we're back. So I do not have the life expectancy. Let's get rid of Marcus's here. There. This was sent to me by a female agent in the field. This is one of the longest damn articles. Like I just started to skim it. I'm like, how long does this go? And it kind of is a general rule of thumb. The way you could tell someone is lying about, say, something political, they're just being intellectually dishonest or outright lying. In other words, they're trying to not be truthful. They're masking something. It's no different than let's say you get a little infection in your arm. Well, a big response, your body may have a big response to it, and a big welt may form around it. Well, it's trying to get rid of an infection. And that's what a lot of time liars, whether they're lying about politics, a Democrat or whatever, it doesn't have to necessarily be like that. But your SJW types, like why they rationalize why it's okay to discriminate against whites or males, or why it's here's a perfect example. Look at how much words someone like Vaush has to use to basically rationalize theft and not working. Okay. So the more words that are going into something is just them trying to engineer a very complex, intellectually dishonest, and immoral, oftentimes lie to mask over a falsehood or an infection or something bad. And this is one of the longest articles I'm not going to read through it. It is by Lindsay Schnell. You can look her up. She's a nobody. I a nobody. She writing for USA Today, which at one time was like a reputable publication. Now it's gutter punk garbage. And I have more subscribers. And again, I am not a professional journalist, but neither is she. And her specialty is sports news with feminism. As women athletes compete later into their lives, family planning and fertility take center stage. No, it does not take center stage. It doesn't take any stage. And hang on, let me put the link in here so you guys can see what this, not the author. I need you to look at what one of the women look like in the article she's talking about. Her name is Kaylee Humphreys. She's a bobsledder. I mean, just look at her. She's got tattoos all over her body. She looks like a guy. I know physiognomy is not intellectually honest, but yeah, it is here. You could just look at this woman and not and spare yourself the 15 minutes it's going to be able to read the article. But it's simple. You see what I'm saying? Why is my arm agitated? You got a sliver in it. Pull the sliver out. Why are I guess professional athlete females now frantic and crazy about fertility? Well, it's because menopause. That's it. There's nothing. You have made a choice. You, in this case, she pursued bobsledding. And you did not choose motherhood, which is fine. You're one of the best bobsledders. You're one of the fastest people that push the thing down the snow the fastest. Good for you. You swung the stick at the ball the hardest. But you can't now complain, well, I never had family or children. I can't say, oh, I'm not going to move to Denver when I'm young. And then when I'm older, say, oh, I never lived in Denver when I was young. I made the choice not to live in Denver when I was young. You can't complain, well, I'll have tacos and not hamburgers. And oh, I didn't have hamburgers. Well, you chose tacos. Yeah, but I want ham. And it is, again, it goes back to that perfect mental state where women, thy name is have your cake and eat it too. Which, if you don't understand that phrase, which confused me when I was younger, I'm like, well, if it's your cake, can't you eat it? It doesn't mean that. You have to look up what it means in the philosophical sense. In other words, a lot of people, but in this particular instance, women, you want 2 mutually exclusive events. I want to punch the wall, but not have it hurt. I want to drink, but not get a hangover. And it's fun and entertaining, I'll be perfectly honest. This is part of Enjoy the Show, part of Enjoy the Decline, where you watch, this is now my generation, of people who were under this delusion that they could have their cake and eat it too, try to wrestle with reality. And the way you should approach these articles is you guys may be angry at the stupidity of these, the ignorance. And then, of course, the solution to everything, the solution is just more of other people's money, more government programs to help us out, which I don't know how more government money adds eggs to your ovary system. I don't know how that works. But what I want people to realize, like, when you see people who have made a choice and are now upset that there is an opportunity cost to that choice, just suffer and writhe in pain, and that's what they're doing, you should enjoy that. Because these people, ultimately, they just want more of your money and preferential treatment, and they want you, the rest of society, to bear the cost of their bad decisions. But I don't, even if you were to have government programs of fertility kind of paid for and sponsored by, I don't see how this adds more eggs. I'm just shocked that women are this ignorant about the nature of menopause. And we all joke about running into the wall, but this is this is falling off a cliff. There's a cliff here. There's a cliff here. It's not a joke. A biological fact. There is a cliff here. You have to do these things before you fall off the cliff in this one regard. Oh, no, there's no cliff there. Why am I falling? Somebody build me a parachute. Oh, and I want it to continue for... And all you can do is watch them fall off the cliff. Like, well, that's funny. It's funny because they lectured me the entire time they were about to run off the cliff. I said, don't run off the cliff. And they called me misogynist and genderist and bigoted and all that. Splat. Oh. No more eggs? You ain't got no eggs? No more eggs? All dried up. So I'll only read this as long as it goes. But you really just got to look at this. And she thinks it's funny. Like she's doing it funny. She's holding all the syringes. Having a kid is... Okay. The first time Kaylee Humphries plunged a needle filled with fertility hormones into her abdomen, the Olympic gold medalist knew exactly the path that had led to this moment. To recap, 2010 Olympic gold in 2-woman bobsled, followed by 2014 Olympic gold again in 2-women bob. Okay, I got to quit. You can't get, I guess, can you sit out a season? There's 4 years. Like the first time, I'm getting pregnant, having the kid, now I got 3 years to train. There's the 2018 Olympic bronze, also 2-woman bobsled, and finally in February, another Olympic gold, this time in monobob. In between, there were 13 World Championship medals, a move from Canada to America, and a switch to Team USA after Humphries' alleged abuse by a former Canadian coach. She later became a naturalized U.S. citizen. Suffice it to say, after starting bobsled at 17, Humphrey didn't have much time for a personal life. One of the most decorated Olympians in winter history. And just look, I don't know. I don't believe for a second. I don't believe you didn't know this was coming. I don't believe, what? Okay, what? Did the guy ask you out? What happened? I mean, the victim narrative has to be put in there. Humphries loves her sports, but it's not lost on her that you give a lot of your prime reproductive years to being the best athlete in the building, she told USA Today Sports. Now at 36, Humphrey is ready to tackle another challenge, motherhood. And because of her age, she's got to be strategic about it. For decades, women were told that if they wanted children, they'd likely stagnate or even take a step back in their careers. Yes. That's how choice works. I want a sports car to go fast. Well, you're not going to get fuel efficiency. But I want a fuel efficient car. It doesn't exist. I know. I'm the one banging my head against the wall here. Well, previous generations of athletes were often encouraged to wait until retirement to start a family. A new wave of women is eschewing that line of thinking. Have fun. I don't know. Deny gravity all you want. I don't care. Put your hand on the hot stove. To wit, less than a year after giving birth to her daughter, Serena Williams. Oh, are we doing the anecdotal evidence? Widely considered the best tennis player of all time. She probably is. Returned to the court and played in her 10th Wimbledon at 37. Allison Felix, the most decorated athlete in the history of track and field, they had her daughter in 2018, and 3 years later at the Tokyo Olympics, won a bronze at age 30. Well, both women suffered life-threatening complications during delivery. All right, but they had children before they retired, right? Seems to me they did it right. They knew there was a cliff. I mean, the complications, I don't know. Life-threatening? Were they? See, I don't know. Were they really life-threatening, or are you just trying to make this more sensational? Hang on, I'm losing my voice. And this goes on, and it's just, again, trying to cover up a falsehood. What's more, professional women's leagues, teams, and organizations are paying attention, trying to help. In a groundbreaking move, the Women's National Basketball Association's latest collective bargaining agreement includes a variety of progressive motherhood and family planning benefits, with veteran players able to get reimbursed up to $60,000. $60,000? Oh, is she a British? It said it's 60, 00. I think she meant 60,000. And you just, oh yeah, because then you put 5,000 down here. Okay, so you didn't audit this article. It's stuff like that. Surrogacy and fertility treatments, including egg and or embryo freezing. Maternity leave is now paid at 100%, and current mothers receive $5,000 child care stipend annually. Meanwhile, in the NWSL, I don't know what that is, a handful of teams, including Racing Louisville and the Portland Thorns and the Chicago Red Stars, soccer league, have partnered with fertility clinics to aid players in freezing their eggs and or embryos. Everybody came from a woman. That we're not here without women. Nikita Ugwamike, from a forward from the Los Angeles Sparks and president of the NWPBA acronyms, told a podcast, negotiating this CBA, it occurred to me that there's so much these moms do not have. Do you have husbands? Man, you girls you're gonna have it all and end up with nothing by the time you're dead. You really are. You're gonna have one thing and nothing else. You're gonna howl at the moon that you couldn't have had. If you did it right, you could have it all. I even have a video on how you can have it all, but no one wants to listen to that. With the responsibilities that women have to be both mothers and also be working. Have to be? No, it's a choice. We have to create resources to empower women in all their roles. Fertility. Well, that's fine if you want to pay them. No, I'm all for it. If you, as the employer, you want to pay for that by all means. That's nice of you too. Fertility treatment awful set women back tens of thousands of dollars. I thought these women were highly paid professionals. A price tag that cuts deep when you consider the paltry salaries and considerably smaller endorsement deals professional female athletes get compared to their male counterparts. Wonder if that's the real world trying to tell you something. Screw the real world. This is 100% a pay equity issue, said Humphreys, who will complete her second round of fertility treatments this week, a process that has set her back about $24,000 cumulatively, the equivalent to her Team USA stipend for 1 year. Look, dude, you get to play a game your entire life. There's a financial cost to that. You don't get paid as much. You get to play your hobby. What if, how about you find a husband who could help pay for that? Did you want to get, oh no. The cluelessness, the other lack of self-awareness. It's just so enjoyable. And don't tell me for a second that your tattoos are not a reflection of just how miserable you are inside. Maybe you don't personally understand it. Maybe you're not consciously aware of it. Maybe it's like you cry yourself to sleep. But man, mutilate your body some more. Just knock it out. Here, would you like a case of fentanyl? Here, you need some guns? Here, have some heroin. Here, have some more tattoos. Get a nose piercing. Whatever it is you gotta do. Humphrey suffers from a stage 4 endometriosis, a painful disorder where uterine tissue grows outside the uterus. Wait, you're saying with age comes medical complications? I have a question. Hang on, let me look up the lady. The author, Lindsay, do you honestly believe this BS you're writing? Or is it kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know what you're writing just to rile? I mean, you're just trying to go for clicks? Is it clickbait, or do you actually believe this? See, the stuff I write is backed up by numbers. Like the book of numbers, there's numbers in here and statistics. It's not shtick. Is this shtick? Is this like, my good, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3, patriarchy? Is that what you're trying to do? Scrolling back to where I lost off. Where embryos implants outside the uterus, typically in the fallopian tube. If not caught early and treated expediently, ectopic pregnancies can cause major internal bleeding and sometimes result in death. How is this society's responsibility? Because you're ultimately asking somebody, not the person, to bear the cost, right? Right. Now, the employer can pay for that if they want. I understand that. But is this really patriarchy? Really, do you dare blame patriarchy and societal structures? This is nature. I want to know what it's like being so delusional and living a lie. What's that like? I got nice storage over in my garage. Should I tell you about the nice storage? And then I put the final block on my retaining wall. And I'm probably going to go hang out with the old timers over in Vegas with the black dude, Herman, the stereotypical skinny Vietnam veteran who's going gray with his Mercedes. And we're all going to have a good laugh and enjoy life. What? Why? Why? Why are you here? I mean, I got my problems, but I don't wake up, I'm not 6'7" and an NBA player. Why can't I sleep with big-titted redheads? This makes the in vitro fertilization the safest route for Humphreys. The difference between IVF and egg freezing is the inclusion of sperm, but because her insurance company has deemed it an elective procedure, she and her husband, Travis Armbruster, are paying the cost out of pocket. Well, it's your kid, isn't it? What's worse for that's not worse. That's fair and just. What's worse? They could have gotten an insurance policy that would have covered it, right? What's worse? Oh my God, woman's got to pay for their crap. Call the crisis hotline. This is such a childish. That's ultimately what it. This is childish. This is naive and childish. What's worse, fertility treatments and family planning are an emotionally and physically taxing process that can be full of heart-wrenching turns. How is that? It is what it is. Patients spend weeks on medication, including daily shots to get their ovaries to produce as many mature eggs as possible. Eggs are harvested and then, if doing IVF, sent to an embryologist. Okay, here's a just dumb economist to me. This sounds like a very time-consuming process. Would it have not cost less time and therefore taken less time out of your career? I mean, it's a serious math question. Would it have not been better to do this at 19, 20, 21? We just got pregnant the old-fashioned way. And then you would have netted yourself more time and money that could have been spent pursuing your career. Oh, but then I wouldn't have been able to pursue my career. I would have had to raise my kids. Okay, so your career is more important than your children. Let's ultimately look at what the actions are telling. Guys, look, just look at your moms, okay? I think we're old enough now. We've had enough generations of moms now. Look at your mom's choices. Did she work while you were a child? The career was more important than you. And you could argue the stuff they bought was more important to you, because usually when it's a lie that you need 2 salaries to raise children. That is a lie. Go get Poor Richard's retirement. They are buying things and stuff, namely cars, housing that they can't afford, and usually more modernly, student loan debt. And if someone, and by the way, your dad doesn't love you as much as his stuff either. Right? If you have 2 parents working, your parents essentially love themselves more than they loved you, because they bought things in their past before they had you. If they really love their children, one parent would stay home. Mother or father, it doesn't matter. That's not the case, because most parents honestly love their lifestyle, including material purchases, their worthless degrees, their careers, or whatever, the prestige, the status that comes with the career, more than they love you. And this is very clearly honest, that women love their sport, their career, their hobby, more than they love you. If they love children more, they would have had you, and then they would have pursued their career. Maybe they would have only gotten 3 gold medals instead of 5. Okay? But it's more important to this woman to be the fastest go down the hill on the box with the skis person than it is to be a mother. That is the action. That was the most important thing. And that's fine. Just don't oh my God, there's problems. Hang on. Should have broke this out a long time ago for all you female athletes that don't know how menopause works. And the journalists. I'm probably making real violin players pained right now how I'm handling this. Let me scroll back up. I dedicate this song to you, Lindsay Chanel. Let me get back to where I was. That makes in vitro fertilization the safest route for Humphreys. Oh, wait. What's worse, fertility treatments and family planning are emotionally and physically taxing. That can be full of heart-wrenching turns. That was good. Patients spend weeks on medications, including daily shots to get their ovaries to produce as many mature eggs as possible. Eggs are harvested and then, if doing IVF, sent to an embryologist. Lost my stick. How down these things are slipping. I know there's just going to be more whining in this article. That's why I got to get this ready. How do you do it this way? On average, about half of the eggs retrieved are mature enough to implant within the sperm. No, I don't need that. God darn, it pops up. After days of lab growth and monitoring, patients get details on how many viable embryos they have. Success rates can vary widely by clinic. Patients watch the number dwindle while simultaneously hoping it remains as high as possible. Wouldn't that be horrible? Aren't you glad you're not them? Humphreys harvested 48 eggs in her first retrieval, which resulted in 3 viable embryos currently being stored in Texas. It could be a game of failure, a particularly rough reality for someone who's achieved incredible heights in her profession. My body has failed me, Humphrey said. It's so hard as an athlete to know that. So sorry for you. You didn't know. Pushing a cardboard box down a hill had consequences. Don't fall on me now. There we go. Let's put this back up here. All right. And there she is. She's so happy. She got her gold. Hey, you got your gold trinket, huh? You got a gold disc. And you got a bouquet of flowers. Oh, good for you. It takes a physical toll, too, even for some of the most fit people on the planet. Before NWSL season started in March, Becky Sauerbrunn, a defender for the Thorns, a captain of the U.S. women's national team, stepped away from a game to freeze her eggs. She paid for it herself as the Thorns' partnership with the fertility clinic hadn't been finalized. Well, that's fine. Essentially forbidden from working out, Sauerbrunn was told to keep 2 feet on the ground at all times, basically, and to not get your heart rate above 160. Unusual instructions for a world-class athlete. Because ovaries enlarge during IVS, there's a risk that physical activity could lead to ovarian torsion or twisting, a rare but dangerous condition that could require surgery and lead to the loss of the ovary. Side effects from hormone treatments include headaches and drowsiness. It's typical to gain weight during IVF treatments too. Humphreys said she was the most out of shape I've ever been leading up to her first egg retrieval. As an Olympian who regularly drug tested, her treatments came with an extra twist, as she had gotten permission from bobsledding governing bodies before shooting up with hormones. Let me tell you about my now completed retaining wall and the no worries that come with it. This makes any and all fertility procedures an off-season project. One women athletes wish was talked about more. And it's not just a conversation about how expensive it's going to be, but where and how athletes can get support. I don't know yourselves. It's not fair that elite female athletes feel like they have to choose between family and a career, Sauerbrunn said. Organizations have to be cognizant of that. Humphreys agreed. A lot of us don't have endorsement deals, and money is a big stopping point. She said, if you're an athlete, are you going to put $15,000 towards a new coach, new equipment, or harvesting your eggs? Because it costs roughly the same. And if you're 25, you're probably going to choose the coach or equipment. The sadness, such the sadness. Team USA, Humphrey points out, has more than 50 medical experts on its payroll, but none specializes in fertility. That needs to change, she says. I mean, we can go on. That went, Sarah Brown made a plan for these eggs, seminar. They went over how after 35, there's a steep decline in fertility. And I was sitting there as a 36-year-old thinking, I really need to get on this. You're all the same as these boomer people that came in like, well, I'm 62. It's time to get serious about retirement. Like, what? I got to imagine athletes, like, you took more health classes, right? And a larger question, what, I guess you girls don't know about menopause. I understand school was boring and maybe sex ed, you didn't want to do it, but you didn't know menopause. Really, maybe you just didn't pay attention. It's children. We're dealing with little children who made bad choices. I didn't know I had to save for retirement. I didn't know I shouldn't commit crime. I didn't know I should wrap it up and not get a girl pregnant. I didn't know eating a ton of food led to obesity. How are you all so stupid? I mean, really, it's like the guy who gets his foot amputated because he couldn't stop eating, got diabetes and the blood may, or someone who smokes cigarettes and gets lung cancer. Except these people at least have the good graces not to go and whine to the world and expect, I need help. On a podcast earlier this year, Sauerbrunn admitted that she was nervous to tell her employers, in this case, the whatever team she plays for, that she'd been sidelined for a few weeks, and anxiety many working women can relate to. At 37, Sauerbrunn's not yet considering retirement, so she's not sure when she might use those eggs. She knows nothing is guaranteed, but also she doesn't have to look far to find a success story. Here comes that glimmer of, here's where the women are going to lie to their fellow women. Just 170 miles north up Interstate 5, WNBA All-Stars Brianna Stewart and Sue Bird, both from the Seattle Storm, have talked openly about freezing her eggs. Stewart froze hers a couple years ago, recovering from an injury. She was 25 and Harvard. See, she was smart. She knew it. See, and there's a woman that actually does care about children. She's like, well, hey, I know that the eggs have to be done earlier than later because there is a quality of eggs. Bird was 38 when she did it and got 10. Bird and Stewart encouraged to do so by their agent, Lindsay Kagawa-Colas of Wasserman. Thank you to Lindsay. Lindsay's telling these girls the truth, who represents multiple NBA athletes, about her own fertility. More talk, more women celebrating plastic trinkets they got by kicking the ball through the net really well. Good, congratulations, girls. She got no eggs. No more eggs. All dried up. Gone. No eggs. All dried up. And then what's good? I don't. Just so you know, boys and girls, the children statistically are not going to be professional athletes. There might be some. I don't know if you knew this. There's complications with older births of the women. I mean, and then when it's Frankenstein, science fiction, IVF, there are other complications. I'm not saying this because I hate the girl. It's quite the opposite. You want to know someone who actually gives a crap about you girls? It would be me, not the people writing the articles or lying, trying to obfuscate. Oh my God, nature's so bad. But it is a fact. The older you get, there's higher complications. And when you have a complex IVS, there's going to be more complications. And a risky kid is going to have special needs. And that's putting it lightly. I got to do a victory dance. I just got to do a victory dance. Look, I didn't want to celebrate this movie, but since it's the only one on playing in theaters, I'm going to enjoy it. And for you girls, like, look, ladies, I know the hive will punish you. I don't know what. They don't beat you up. But if you want to be stay-at-home moms and you want to be a mother and you want to fall in love and you want to could you just actually be a brave, strong, independent woman and buck the trend and tell these feminists to F off? If you want it, can you just be honest with yourself? No, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And then do it and be happy with your kids and then pursue a career, a professional athlete or not. I mean, I know everyone gives Allie, Real Femme Sapien, a lot of guff, but she's honest. Going to be happier. I should get her. Allie, if you're listening, we got to get you on about bucking the feminist brainwashing, the hive. I got, you know what? I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put that on my to-do list. And like soon, that's important. I want to know. Here's my to-do list. There we go. I'm wondering. No, just so you guys know, I don't believe in the feminists and women in general, the hive. Through social pressure, pressures women to go against their biological imperative to be a wife and a mother. I think it's reverse. I think women's general biological imperative, though to have children is there. I do not believe women want to be traditional. I don't think that's in their nature. And now that technology, government programs, employment, etc., has freed them from men, now you could see by choice. They obviously don't want to have kids that much. The choices they make are this. I think that's real. I don't think the feminism is a force that somehow hoodwinked women into abandoning their biological imperative. I think that is the manifestation and consequence of the philosophy that derives from, now that we don't need men, here's what we really think about you. That's what I think. That being said, I do believe there are some women, a group of women that deep down inside do want to become traditional women and housewives, etc. But maybe there's too much social pressure. That's what I'd like to investigate with Allie. So there you go. And for you girls, like, look, I've said it before. You know, I know some guys, if you're interested and you're good looking, don't even bother if you're not good looking. Shut up. If you're fat, don't bother. You're not good looking, don't bother. You're not willing to have long hair and be feminine, don't bother. I don't like sex. Don't bother. But if you're attractive, young gal, you want to get married, you're willing to be pretty, you go, I have guys for you. Good quality men. I even set up Vlad Elkins with a couple girls. Like, I got Vlad Elkins laid like 3 times. It's a miracle. Man, women are always getting on no standards. None whatsoever. They'll sleep with anyone. So, if you want that life, you can have it, and you only got one. And if you're being pressured by feminists, I mean, why don't you be a real feminist and tell them to F off? But I'm thinking that's the minority of women. I think that's less than a quarter of women out there. So I'd love to have Allie on. It would be that. All right. The girl still asks for ice cream. Let's get to the final super chats. Beast with red pill. Hey, Beast, in the meantime, like, do you offer this service to other people, right? If other people want to reach out to you to have you do shorts and other social media IT work, I mean, do you have a website or something? Like, at least let me help you out that regard. So for those of you out there that would have, let me know what you can't just offer short videos, right? There's something else you got to do. Yeah, it's all good, Aaron. It's more than just shorts, about timestamps, clips, betterment, thumbnails. Right. Yeah. All the SEO stuff. Keep up the stream. So yeah. Well, give me a link, man. At least I could put you on the sponsor list. So that way you get some monies. Get the monies. Chris Priv, $3. Money for lunch break entertainment. Well, no problem. Thank you, Chris. I'm gonna go and get a hike in. Marcus Brown, $5. She looks like a steel worker named Todd. Yeah, she does. You probably know a steel worker named Todd, being in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, just look at her. It's like, what? Okay. Fine. Just, it's too late. She's almost 40, and that's the way. I mean, she did get married, so she's got that. Whether she'll stay married is another thing. Eric Burns, Marsh, $5. The cliche needs to be updated for our Marxist society. They're going to eat their cake and steal ours too. Yeah, but fine, they're going to steal ours, but it's not going to. They won't have anyone's cake. They're going to eat all the cake, but they still won't have the cake. You could throw $1 billion at one single woman on fertility treatments. If she's out of eggs, she's out of eggs. That's it. And I'm kind of inclined, let's say through technology, largely produced by men, and lots of government funding and a lot of education, a lot of programs, they tell the girls, like, they don't even bother with girls about sex ed. They're like, they're telling girls at 12 or 13, look, your career comes first, and then you're going to need to freeze your eggs. But you need to freeze it when you're 25. And you could have that part of the benefits of compensation packages. It could be free clinics at universities. You could give all these girls that, and it could be 100% guaranteed you will have a child of your own, and you could do your career first. They will find something new to complain about. There will be some other injustice about reality, and they're going to scream at the gods, and they're going to demand society, either through technological investment, huge financial investments, solve that problem too. But and then there'll be an even more spectacular multi-trillion-dollar problem that has to be solved after that. At the end of the day, you know what? They're miserable freaking people who will never be happy. They're never going to have, because their happiness is contingent, completely reliant upon having their cake and eating it too, on an impossible, mutually exclusive, dual or triple kind of co-concurrent existence of events. I want to be fat, but I want to sleep with Jason Momoa. And I want to have kids. And I want to $250,000. And it doesn't end. It doesn't end. And here's where I will say they're going to be happy, is that you're probably going to be happiest being a stay-at-home mom and married with children, even if that isn't what you want biologically, because that's what's happened so many times. It's rote rehearsal that there will be a reward at the end of it when you have children and grandchildren. But I, for one, enjoy the misery and the insanity of watching people trying to live in not reality, living delusional lives. I enjoy it. If they kept to themselves and didn't ask me for money, I'd be fine. I'd be sympathetic. I'd be like, hey, you really ought to. But no, everything requires more money. And then us normal people getting called names for trying to point out the truth. I'm fine. Have fun with the hormones. Have fun worrying and watching that egg count go down. I'm laughing my freaking ass off at you. And we would have, but you don't want to hear it? Okay. And then what? The kid comes along. What, are you going to raise the kid? Not going to raise the kid. Kid's going to have mental problems. Going to likely maybe have physical problems. And your life is over. That's it. And then think about that. You get a kid, but you're so tied up in the value that you push the cardboard box on the skis fastest down the hill that you're not able to enjoy anything else. Wow. You kicked the sphere into the net. Who was it? Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, great comedian, but you want to talk about a man? He made his millions early in the 90s, right? And then he quit. You know why? Family. Want to raise his kids. Kids grow up, or at least now he's back. There's a guy who's got it right. There's a guy who's got it right. Guy should be Father of the Year for that alone. I mean, and even you think about that, being a comedian, that's not like a full time. You could scale that back. You could like only do a part-time schedule. Like do weekend gigs. He could have still done comedy. He took all the time off. Dragon breath. Bad dragon breath. $10. Hey, Aaron, I live in a rural area with a 100,000 income job, and I enjoy. Unfortunately, there aren't many young people here. I'm torn between leaving for a social life and having a good job help. Well, if it's you're stuck in the rural area. Okay, here's what I want you to do, man. What I want you to do is take some of that money and you go travel to big metro areas. And I would say pick one that's the closest. Right? A good sized metro area. And your job is to go to that metro area every weekend and participate in the social activities. Try a meetup group. Drop the money if you got to fly or drive, whatever. Hopefully you have someone in town you could crash with. And I want you just to try and go and have social in the big city. You see how fun that is. Go to the nightclubs. Go to a sports ball event. Ask girls out. Say, hey, I'm going to be in town this week. You want to grab coffee? You go do it. See what happens. That would be worth dropping 25 grand on. I'm not joking. In 1 year. And you're like, oh, really? I can go have fun? Yeah. Go drive, have fun. See what it's like. And then what I'm going to guess is when you realize that social life sucks. There's no social life. People are losers. They stay at home. They watch the prawn. No one goes out. No one works out. No one has fun. Girls aren't that good looking. You're going to get stood up. You'll have success. If you ask out enough girls, you will have success. You say, is it worth? And then I want you at a year. You say, did I have fun? And then when you say, no, I really didn't. It wasn't worth it. Then I need you to realize that's every major metro in the United States. It wasn't you picked the wrong town. It's not that you did something wrong. You could have tweaked your strategy. Nope. That is the real world. And then you'll know, I'm happy and content with I like being in the Shire. It's nice here. And you're not missing out on anything. Boy, these porn sites really do want to run their thing, don't they? All right, I think we're winding down. Production of Cook County, 7963. Thank you for the $20. Yo, Aaron, just doing deliveries, and I'm about to head to Hyde Park from Orland Park. Just now, where's Hyde Park? Why do I know where that is? Just now found your video, Let Women Have Corporate America. Yeah, there you go. Homie, you're a literal prophet. I've had that same mentality for 2 years now. Yeah, go watch that. Let Women Have Corporate America. I wrote an article and then I read it. Maybe I had someone else read it because I don't have that great of a voice. But you really, especially now with diversity and inclusion training. And by the way, that doesn't matter if you're a minority or woman or not. Our team, you don't do that. You don't tolerate it. Not because of principles or anything. It's like, no, this is a waste of my time. No one should suffer that pain. But if they're going to make it a not meritocratic environment where women in this particular case are promoted over everyone else, forget it. Why would you participate in that? And you're like, but that's unfair. They took corporate America. Corporate America wasn't worth taking. It wasn't worth holding on to. It was a nightmare. It was not fair. Already it wasn't even meritocratic beforehand. It was a political cocksucking nightmare. Women wanted you. Here you go, Cheryl. Have fun in Facebook. You are having more fun. Or fun. You're enjoying your life a lot more just making deliveries, man. Hang on, I gotta find out Hyde Park. Why do I know where that is? Is that the Gold Coast? There's Hyde Park. Why do I know Hyde Park? Oh, Hyde Park. That's on the south side. Yeah, it's by the University of Chicago. That's where Obama and Jesse Jackson live because they're so poor and they're down with their people. Yeah, that's a nice part. Yeah, down there. Don't step out too far. Yeah, it is. I really love that Lakeshore Drive. That was fun. When I had my convertible, I'd drive that up and down Highway 41. That was nice. Sarah Mahmood. Yeah, Atham letting the girls in again. $5. Best place to live out west. 90% plus white Hispanic population. Median cost of living near nature and health conscious. Are you asking? I guess you're asking. Best place to live out. Well, get reconnaissance, man. I can't tell you what's good for Sarah Mahmood. You got different tastes. But best 90% white Hispanic. I think Vegas. I'd say for me personally, Vegas. I love Vegas. Phoenix is nice too. Tucson is okay. It gets a little hot. St. George, Utah is all right. Salt Lake City is okay. I'm just thinking major metros. Spokane, Washington. I mean, if you're okay with a smaller town, Rapid City's all right. Obviously, I like that, but I have unique tastes about geology. Denver is fine. Colorado in general, if you don't make that much money and you don't want to, you'd stay out of Denver. Grand Junction. You got to go. You got to explore, man. I would avoid New Mexico altogether. Not a lot of New Mexico. But yeah, you got to go. Got to go drive around, Sarah. Find yourself a cowboy, huh? Get yourself an old rich cowboy. He got himself a piece of Middle Eastern tail there. I'm just going to assume you're Middle Eastern. And you're like, ooh, cowboy, how you doing? And his name is Billy Bob Brain. That's from Animaniacs. You get a ranch. Yeah. You ride horses, rustle cattle. I don't know. And health conscious. That's up to you. It's not up to the city. Here, stay out of Oregon, like Portland. Stay out of Seattle. Stay out of Tacoma. Stay out of California, period. Reno's nice. Check out Reno. Yeah, but get reconnaissance, man. That'll go through do's and do nots. They'll save you a ton of money. Lots of money. Scrolling. Keep the Michael, 100 Czech dollars. I'm 34, and for the last year, I've had no luck finding a normal woman. Only fat women or single mothers. I'm 6'1", own house, athletic. Should I focus on making money instead of chasing money? Yeah. I mean, kind of depends on where you are. I mean, if you're in the Czech Republic, I don't know how westernized it's gotten. You're athletic. Should I focus? Yeah. I mean, there's things you can do. I mean, there's always tailoring. A lot of guys, you'll have all the check marks, but you lack charisma and charm. You need to have a personality. And for that, I'd strongly recommend realtroyfrancis.com. Troy Francis is a colleague of mine. But last year, no, like fat women, single mother. I mean, how many girls have you asked out? If you want, here's another book for you to read, The Book of Numbers, but particularly the last chapter. Now, the numbers are American-based, so they won't apply to the Czech Republic. But the last chapter reverse engineers what you can do to have the high statistical increase on your chances with women. The number one of which is asking out more girls. Now, forget the rejection. you should get to the point you're immune to rejection. The real cost there is you gotta kiss a lot of frogs. So now you're going out on lots of dates, and you basically gonna ask out 10 girls. What is it? 7. Well, for me at my peak game, 7 will say yes, but let's just go with regular. 3 will say yes. One of those 3 is gonna show up, and 1 in 10 has been my experience are gonna actually sleep with you. So you're now in the hundreds of asking out girls to get laid once, which is kind of the numbers game. So, is that where and how many dates? You gotta go on 10 dates to get laid once. That's another rule I remember. Like 10 dates, 10 girls, not 10 dates with one girl. 10 different girls you have to date to get laid with once. It's a pain in the ass. A lot of time. What is CZZ to USD? 4 cents. That's hang on, let me do the math. 0.04 times 100 was that $2.50? Oh, $4. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, it would help to know if you're in the Czech Republic or not. But in general, it's only going to get more difficult for men around the world as the internet and feminism and technology and all this other stuff advances, as welfare states grow. I honestly think girls just don't like guys that much. And feminism is the manifestation, the philosophical school of thought, the school of philosophy that manifests from that biophysiological genetic reality. It is not the other way around. It's not the cart before the horse. And yeah, I mean, you should always be focusing on making money. Focus on yourself because you'll improve yourself, and that statistically increases your chances with women. But you do have to ask women out. No more eggs. Ba, ba, ba. Dung is fun. Hey, I was listening to Better Bachelor. You're all over the place, man. $2. You're getting good at playing that. I'm pretty good at that violin. Pretty darn good. Oh, the sadness. So sad. I'm 47 and I can't have children. So sad. Boo, 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 boo. Just be there, just be T-Rash. What is the Czech version of T-Rash? What is T-Rash? All right. Last super chat. Bring in your super chats. Bring in your pour. I'm gonna close that out. Let's do the final sponsors. All right. If you guys want to help out Thor and Missy with their medical bills, Missy had a horrific accident. She's barely walking now. I think they had to file for bankruptcy and they still have some outstanding medical bills. Just search Thor Missy GoFundMe because Thor and Missy is a unique name. If you're kind and charitable, they could definitely use your money. If you're about to go and buy brand name clothes, please don't be a despicable person. If you're going to go get drunk tonight at the bars or later on this weekend, how about you just buy a bottle of booze and drink at home and then donate the $50 to Thor and Missy instead? There's a million things good just to help them out. Also, if you guys are interested, let me put this in the chat room. So I offer a class that's open all the time through Teachable. It's called Achieving Financial Excellence. This is my introductory course for you to start getting your financial act together. You can search Achieving Financial Excellence. That's the name of the title. You can find that on Teachable. So Teachable will get you there. Or you just search the Clary School of Economic Philosophy. I just put it in the chat room as well. It is $99 plus tax. If you are having financial trouble, that's your first step. That's all I'm going to say about it. Take it. And you know what? You're going to drop $99 on stupid crap down the road anyway. So why don't you drop it there? Take the course. It's only about, I don't think it's more than 2 hours. So it's not too much of your time. But please take that course. Available link below. We done that. BusinessBuyerAdvantage.com. Please visit Dave and contact him before you either buy or sell a business. PirateBookTakedown.com for those of you who are content creators and you're just get tired of people putting your stuff up on the internet for free or torrent. Go to PirateBookTakedown.com. Have Doug send the DMCA notices down so that allows you to go ahead and work on your content creation, or like me, retaining walls. AcademicComposition.com. Go to AcademicComposition.com, where Alex and his crack team of writing staff will write your college papers for you. You do not have time to write Marxist papers about how you hate being a white male, and the white males, despite creating nearly every technological innovation, are evil, bad people, and on and on and on and on. And womans and vagina is just so amazing because it exists. It might get tiring, even if you happen to be of the womans. That's gotta suck for. Oh my God, writing about my vagina again and how great it is to have one. Yeah. Oh, the inner thing of me. Yeah. A+, great. Also, if you're looking for a remote job, I want to work remote. Alex is always hiring writers and marketers. Go to academiccomposition.com and let them know that Cappy sent you. Non-communistsciencefiction.com. My buddy Michael Kingswood is an author. If you like science fiction, but you don't like the communist bent, which nearly every science fiction piece has out there, go to non-communistsciencefiction.com and get a ton. He writes a ton of science fiction. You have lots. He does also fantasy. The Chronicles of Glimmervale is his long-running J.R.R. Tolkien thing. bunkerbasics.com. Go to bunkerbasics.com with Bunker Bob. Bunker Bob is the Red Pill resident authoritative expert on bunker basics and survival and prepping. So go there, search his site. You got that. Then we have the League of Extraordinary Podcasters. You have Push a Rubber Downhill. You have Piero San Giorgio, Day by Day Cartoon, Canto Tuxter and Silvio Canto, the 405 Media, Carrie Lutz's Financial Survival Network, Masculine Geek, The Goddamn Bacon, Jack Napier's Red Evening, Turd Flinging Monkey, Dr. David Perodin, Safety PhD, Safety Doc, Better Bachelor, The Rule Zero Gang, Hotep Jesus, 7-Step Survival. Go subscribe to 7-Step Survival with Doug. I'm sure I have others that escape me now, but that is that. Then we have books. My books. You know, Cappy wrote books. I got a lot of books. You know what's a great book people should read, but no one did? How Not to Become a Millennial. It's a great book. It's my best book. It's not under my name. It is under Vince Barrick. There's reasons behind that. Anyway, go get that book, How Not to Become a Millennial. Give it to a young person in your life so they don't become a 40-year-old begging for student loan bailouts. You know, being a 37, God almighty. That alone right there, get your daughters and the young women you care about in your life, get them that book so they're not 38. Yeah, did you know it's unfair that nature only gives me so many ovaries or eggs? They also give you only so many. Ladies, did you know, seeing you're unaware of menopause, are you aware you only have 2 ovaries? Anyway, so How Not to Become a Millennial. Then I got a bunch of other books. Probably flagship book is Bachelor Pad Economics. After you take my financial course, Achieving Financial Excellence, there's this book. It's thick. The reason it's thick is because financial planning, it's not difficult, but there's a lot of aspects to it. And this book goes chronologically as you age through life from the age of 14 to death. I say 74. It says, okay, what should you be doing financially as a teenager? What should you be doing financially in college? What should you be doing financially in your 20s? What should you be doing in your 30s? And, 401ks. All right. This is more of a reference book. People say, oh my God, it's 500 pages. Like, yeah, but you don't, if you're 24, you don't read the chapter on estate planning because that presumes you're dying and you're planning your will. All right. This is an absolute must and vital book. This should be in your library. Please get this. And this will tell you how to implement the choices to make in your financial decisions, all major, mediocre, and minor financial decisions in this book. And if you do what's in this book, I can't guarantee you'll be rich, but you will not be poor. It's available paperback, Kindle, audio. Also, let's say My fine young man, you take the finance course. You get the philosophical understanding of why it is vitally important for you to get your financial act together. You then get Bachelor economics, and then you learn the specific actions you are to take at different stages in your life. And you're 32 years old, and you have 150,000 saved up, and you have no student loan debt, and you have a degree in mechanical engineering, and you're a mid-level person, and things are going great. You even have enough, a little bit of money to go get that car you always wanted. And then you fall in love. And she just says all the right things. And then you're, Cappy, I'm in love. And then oops, I'm preggers. And then your life is over because you don't know the cost of chasing women. And so you can have the best financial, like, battleship ever created. You can have all the right financial moves, all the right financial things, but if you screw up with women, it is over. Here comes a torpedo right into your side, and your USS financial strength and independence is sinking. So before you pursue women, please pursue them wisely and intelligently and risk-free. This is probably and then there's the Better Bachelor edition for you guys who are fans of Joker. See, there's Joker. Better Bachelor edition. There's 2 of the editions you can get. This has an intro by Better Bachelor if you like reading, and so I know Better Bachelor fans like that. Please get that book and read it. And the real risk is not so much that, oops, I'm pregnant, you get sperm jacked. That's the real risk is you're going to waste all your time and money chasing tail, and not strategically or wisely in a way that's going to actually get you tail, and you're going to cripple your finances together. I know one guy, oh my God, senior engineer, master's in some form of engineering. He's on his 5th mail order bride. They keep taking him for all of his money, and this guy doesn't have enough money. No, he made like 200,000 a year, and this is 20 years ago. I don't know what he made now. And there's risk. It's kind of like flying planes, taking a flight. What's the, this flying is the safest form of travel, right? What's the riskiest part of a flight? The ride to the airport and the ride back, because there's a higher risk of getting a car accident. Right? What's the riskiest part of your life? Is it mortgages? Is it student? Is it credit cards? No. For you guys, it's women. Ladies, your highest risk is majoring in dumb crap. That's not an opinion. It's not a joke. I'm being deadly serious. Men, your risk is the pursuit of women. Ladies, your highest financial risk is majoring in dumb crap. And if both of you manage those risks appropriately, but God, millions, tens, 100 million, a whole generation would have been fiscally liberated and way better off. So, and ladies, I got a book for you. Here's the book I want the women to read. Worthless Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. It's not going to tell you one you want to hear. I know. So never mind. I won't even bother promoting that. But guys, this one right here, please, for God Almighty's sake, please read that. Oh, I'll have to do fan mail later. I'm tired. I want to go eat, even though it's not that time. Did I do all the things? And then, would you kindly go buy my buddy's Adam Pigot's book, Push Your Rubber Downhill? You can find that that is The Hero's Journey, one of the best books that you can read. Please read that. That will show you what it is to become a man. And then I got to promote Linda Gross's book. I forgot the title. But do tune into Linda Gross's podcast. Look, just Linda Gross podcast. You'll find her. She has a lot of men on her show. And she's one of the few gals that's pro men. All right. Final super chat. Chats. Patrick Wood, $5. Hey, Cappy, have you heard of the Australian nightclubs that banned non-consensual staring? How long until it comes stateside? Yeah, I listened to Human. That popped up. I'm not a big consumer of Human. He's an Australian guy. Yeah, I saw that. I heard about it. You shouldn't be going to nightclubs. Just don't go. Look, guys, Women really don't like you. I'm not saying it to be edgy. The fact and the truth is already edgy enough. Girls just don't like guys that much. They don't hate you. They just don't like you that much. And put yourself in their situation. The male sex drive is so strong, you constantly throw dick at them that it gets annoying and it can be considered as harassment. I kind of like rethink things a little bit like, oh, I can see that now. Yeah, I could see where asking a girl out should not be considered harassment or annoying them, but it is harassing and annoying them just the same. And it will get to the point that whatever baby wants, baby gets, because it is very female centric society we have where, you can't wolf whistle. Should you wolf whistle? Probably not. Is it the end of the world? It really isn't. But that's illegal, I think, in France now. I mean, let's critically think about this just for a second. Should you spank a woman on the ass that you don't know? Absolutely not. I mean, but is it the end of the world? No. But man, that'll land you in jail. Right? So what I'm not trying to condone such behavior in any way, but what I am saying is view it through women's eyes, which is inevitably going to become the law. They don't want to be bothered. Period. I mean, Bumble was I think the Bumble is the one where women have to reach out to men. Why? They were sick and tired of having dick thrown in their face all the time. And you got to it will help men tremendously to understand women just don't like you that much. They don't. And unless you're an exceptionally attractive man, which statistics, I don't go based off of ballpark. I mean, sometimes you do if there's a lack of data, but we have the data. If you look at swiping data from women, they're only interested in the top 5%, 4.5% technically. They only swipe right on the top 4.5%. So unless you're a top 1 in 20 male, I'm not saying don't ask girls out. Right? That's not what I'm saying. You got to become a good looking guy and you have to ask out within your range. You have like, I always knew I was like between a 6 and an 8, not a 9, too short for it. So I did ask out some really good looking girls, but that's when I was dancing and I was situational alpha. But like if I were to go dating again, I'm not bothering with the 9s and the 10s. There's just not waste because you're wasting your time and coincidentally probably annoying them. You got to ask out within your range. So I'd be asking out the 6s and the 7s and maybe the 8s. But yeah, women aren't going to want to be stared at. They don't want to be texted. They don't want to be called. They don't want let's turn it around. Let's look at it from there. How many times do you guys have to be rejected by women to get the hint they don't like you that much? I mean, I'm even talking good looking. Look, Roosh, I think at his prime, on the top of his game was getting like 30%. Troy Francis, who I think is perhaps one of the most handsome, attractive men that we have in our industry, with the British accent, still only 30%. That means 70%, Troy, I don't mean to guess your statistics, but let me know. The majority of women reject a guy like Troy Francis. They don't like men that much. They just don't. And it would be to the point, again, if I were to ever go out dating, yes, I would ask out girls. Yes, it'd be a volume game. Yes, it would be in person. But it would, in terms of like dating, like I'd be just like, here's my number. Give me a call. Like, I wouldn't ask for the number. I'm not texting. I'm not fine. If the girl really likes you, she'll contact you. I mean, that's how I would do it. But keep in mind, I'm very uninvested. Women are not the number one priority. That kind of, yeah, here's my number. Give me a call sometime. And then now you can go and do your thing. And I think that would be the most efficient and optimal way to do it. You ask someone out in public who's within your range. Say, hey, you're cute. I got to go, but look, I wrote my number down. Give me a call, like, text me. We'll go grab a bite to eat or something. And that's about it. Then you're not annoying them too much. You're on your way out. For God's sake, don't waste your time on online dating. Just don't waste your time with that. But do realize, like, that girl probably got asked out 5 or 6 times, at least online that day. They don't like you that much. So, yes, now they wanna go okay, here's another angle. I know we're running long, doesn't matter. The nightclub is a place of worship for women. Not that the women are going there to worship, they are being worshiped. That is their cathedral, that is their church. That is their, whatever. What's the word I'm looking for? Cathedral, maybe. Women go there to celebrate their beauty, to have men fawn over them, to buy them gifts, give offerings through drinks and attention. The music is very loud, so they can't hear you. They dance and strut their youth and their stuff off. They, in a sense, kind of lord their power or magic over the men. It's a celebration of them. I'm beautiful. I'm young. I'm sought after. Society values me. You are literally, society is heaping praise upon women in a nightclub, and that's the true nature of nightclub. Well, it's also a money-making business. All right. I'm sorry. Do you have time to worship women? And you're not getting laid there, by the way. You're just not. Unless you're top 5%, I'll grant you that. All right. Do you have time for that? I don't worship God. I don't go to church. I don't go to synagogue. I don't go to a mosque. I tune into podcasts on religion occasionally to get some spiritual and philosophical value out of that. All right. I'm not bowing down to tail. So, one, it's an untenable situation you shouldn't be going to in the first place. And it's to the point where they want to be worshiped, but they don't want to be stared at. Cake eat it too? Did we not just hear the previous article? And they only want to be stared at by, obviously, attractive, which they have ever. So, should you be staring at a girl? Probably not. It is rude. Do we need to make a law about it? Apparently so. Guys, your life is so short. It really is incumbent upon you to realize how little interest women have in you. And therefore, make the corresponding choices in your own life. And when you do pursue women, pursue them wisely, smartly, and strategically so you have the highest rate of return and you have the most success. But going where you're absolutely not welcomed and you're only there to be taken advantage of, that is like the worst waste of time ever. The worst waste of time. Ba, 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 ba. Sam Whiskey, most American name in America. 10 generous stars. Coffee should be black as hell, strong as death, and sweet as love. Muhammad Ali, governor of Egypt. Wait, what? Not the boxer? The governor of Egypt is actually also named Muhammad Ali and wouldn't be president of Egypt? I don't know my Egyptian history terribly well. Scrolling. Keep those guys rolling. Be tall, young, and attractive. $5. Aaron is right. Nightclubs only exist to celebrate female beauty and youth. Yeah. What do you think it is? I have never been lucky to take a girl home from a club. I have been lucky twice. Didn't get laid either times. The one, although I guess technically there was where I could have, but I was tired and wanted to go to sleep. I did make out with girls at nightclubs. That did happen. I'm talking meeting the girls there for the first time. I have taken girls to nightclubs that I had known before. All these qualifications. All right, there we go. Hang on. Where'd it go? I saw Better Bachelor mentioned. Good old Joker. All right. That's it. Questions, answers. assholeconsulting.com. Take a look at my books. Buy them and read them. And if you don't have time for my books, take that finance course. It's short. It's sweet. I think it's 90 minutes. It's not more than 2 hours. And everyone's a 10. Oh, and then while we're here, could you guys kindly subscribe? We're coming up on 100,000. I'm at like 93 and change. If you haven't, please do so already. That's it. And we'll see you guys later. Toodles.